Alright guys, welcome to the Hell Nah Hangout. This is episode 4. We have 2 new faces. I don't know if one of them's going to be able to introduce himself because he's on some bootleg stuff right now. But we got 2 new faces. We got the homie Jack. Jack, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up guys, I'm Jack or Vortex.
You can...
yeah, that's about it.
tell him what you do, bro.
Where you go to school?
I go to Butler University. I'm gonna be a junior. Majoring in finance and management information systems, and I'm the vice president of Butler Esports. And the captain of the Butler COD team.
You love a handsome, educated young man.
My man.
All right, Justin. You want to try it, Justin? Go ahead, introduce yourself.
I think that's a no.
Oh, it's a no. Alright, well, we got the homie Justin, aka Dream Tacos, on the podcast, but he's on his phone right now and it ain't looking too good. So yeah, he might not talk much in this episode. So we're gonna start off with something like a little, I guess it's serious, but kind of comical too, honestly, to me. So the school in Davenport, I don't know what state the school is in. Michigan? Okay.
I haven't heard anything about this. I need to get informed.
So they out of nowhere, like literally out of nowhere, I got on Twitter and I saw people talking about it. They apparently like recruited their whole like team for the CCL next year, like scholarships and all. And like
what?
Yeah,
is that the one popular tweet on Twitter? It like went viral. He said he's masters in.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was about to say. I would just like to say that they really need to work on their selling points on Twitter, because just saying somebody's a Master Division Call of Duty player and that you're giving him a scholarship means shit.
Yeah. And
I think they probably threw like a League of Legends player to recruit Call of Duty, and they're like, "Oh, League player."
Well, like honestly, like I haven't seen any of them play, but I heard they're like decent. And you have? Are they good?
I mean, if they have scholarships, they can't be terrible.
I've seen like the core 3 of them. It's like Flanked, Northern, and Subzo. I saw them play some 10s the other night. Flanked was streaming, and they're not bad. Like actually, like pretty good. They're followed by a bunch of people in the AM community. Like I think Illy follows Flanked.
On Twitter
as well, yeah, on Twitter, and then a couple other people follow them. So it's not like they're just like randoms out there.
To me, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, he could have followed.
I don't hold any weight on who follows people on.
I'm pretty sure Flank. Flank say he had team with Beezy for a local or something at some point.
Sure, but like
Momentous
Sergio. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
So here's what I know about them. Right, they weren't bad. Their first night Flanked, like everybody was out to get him. I kind of feel bad for him because like everybody's like going super hard. And then apparently he started talking trash about Humber, and Kush Point tweeted at him asking for a chow. Yeah. I don't know if the chow's happened.
I saw that. Nah, it hasn't happened yet, but I saw the tweet.
Yeah. And one of the things I thought was really funny about the whole situation is Serge, your tweet about, the CCL like calling everybody else names, but then somebody from the outside.
Yeah. it's bro, really it's so true, bro. Like if you go in the 10s lobbies and stuff in the CCL now, like it's so toxic. A lot of times with like, as soon as somebody else comes in, like the Davenport kids came and started talking trash, and then you get like the CCL quote unquote all stars, like Honer and all, and like the CCL Avengers show up to like defend the honor. Like it's wild, bro.
It's funny because something super similar happened with Tish and his friends showed up. Yeah. Like we talk trash all the time, then Tish shows up and like they challenge them to game, and then we fry. We only lose like 1 map, I think. And the hardpoint rotations, and some of them still come back and play, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I think as much as like people are like making fun of Davenport for it, like it's honestly, I think that's a good look for the CCL. Like not that people are like in the scholar, and it's a good look for collegiate esports in general. I think honestly, and like
it's something that like we as other like clubs can leverage with going into talking about with like administration at our schools.
Right. Yeah.
That's something I still want to confirm that they've got a scholarship for that, because I've heard other stuff. So
Shaq, they have scholarships.
Yeah, they have scholarships. Yeah.
Me and Jaden have talked to the director.
All right, because I'm just saying I'd heard other stuff, so I just wanted to confirm that.
Do you know details? Like, is it a full ride or just like?
I doubt it's a full ride. No,
I've heard
there's no way.
Of what the number is, but I'm not going to speculate.
Yeah, there's no way.
I'm assuming it's like
it's probably just
2.5 to 5.
So what I know about Davenport is They hired a coach.
It depends
I
if it's
believe,
private or not, too.
I think it's a private school. Like
So it's probably more, but
I think it's like last March they hired an esports director,
Mhm.
and then 4 months later he resigned, and then his assistant became the new esports director, who's now running it. And he's like trying to figure everything out. He scholarshiped a whole bunch of players. If you go to their Twitter, there's like COD players, there's League players. There was like even like a Clash Royale player they picked up. So I mean, it looks like they're like pretty serious.
it's
but
cool on the school.
I feel like,
Yeah.
no, I just.
Because I'm telling you, like what I was told was they had like academic scholarships and they signed it for esports. Like that's what I was told.
I don't.
From a private school, that could be true.
Maybe.
A lot easier than public schools.
I was told they had academic scholarships, but since they were since they played, they made it out to be like a signing thing for esports.
Well, what's their J Pro? Do you know their like their esports presence like on campus? Like, is it a big esports org?
It literally just started this year.
Wow.
Like, they
So
had
they're
an
just
esports
throwing
for
money at it
2019,
in hopes
2020.
it sticks to the wall.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a.
I mean, good for them.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
was gonna say
what's really cool about it is the fact that a school like has enough faith that esports is the next thing, that they're willing to invest money into it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of schools can learn from that. And there's a lot of schools that are already doing it, like Maryville, for example, like some great leadership over there.
Same with Robert Morris. Morris is massive.
Mhm.
No, but like it's not, esports isn't even the next thing. Like it's here. Like I don't understand why people are hesitating still.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of want to like see them succeed at this point, honestly, like, and have like a really good placing, just for that fact. Like, it'll show a lot of schools like, hey, like if you actually take the time out and like invest in this, like you'll get good results. So, I mean, I'm not gonna dog them. Like, I really hope that they do well, honestly.
Same.
So.
The only thing about like collegiate esports is no collegiate esport league is like even close to like a professional esport, and professional esports aren't even close to like traditional sports. So it's hard to like monetize and like make sense for a university to like do stuff like that. But it's cool.
I feel like as time goes on, though, Adam, that things are going to become a lot closer.
Oh, I agree, 100%. But I'm saying right now. So.
Yeah. I definitely think we're making strides, though, like the Overwatch League being broadcast on Disney XD and ABC and ESPN, and ESPN going to be broadcasting the Apex Legends tournament at XD.
Professional esports get bigger, collegiate will as well.
Exactly.
So. Like I said, I think the ultimate goal, like we talked about it before, is like for collegiate esports to eventually be like the feeder system for like professional esports, just like NCAA is a feeder system for like, professional sports.
That would be cool, but I don't think it's possible.
I definitely think it is.
Until full rides are a thing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If you keep throwing money and the collegiate esports keeps growing, you keep throwing money at these players to go to school, I think
it's definitely a possibility, but I don't think it'll be anytime soon. I don't know. A collegiate player could be a pro player, but not because they competed collegiately. That makes sense.
Yeah,
they could just be good enough.
Well, I know one thing about like pro players is in the collegiate leaders Discord that I was talking about a little bit before. Is that we were actually taught.
Justin, what's up, Justin?
But, go, Justin. I'll finish my.
I can't even hear this man.
Is it bad?
Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead, talk.
Okay, no, I was like what Adam said as far as esports getting to that level. I think with esports, well, I know that's the next topic, but with going to the Olympics and stuff, I think after that you would see a lot of more universities and stuff like that getting more involved. Because they're going to start to recognize it more as just a sport, period.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If it's ever at the Olympics or at the X Games again or something like that, then it'll definitely be. Oh, 100%.
Well, my thing is like, I don't know of any AM player, maybe they would, but I don't know of any AM player that have given the right amount of money to go to school and still play COD. I don't know who would turn it down. Like I really don't know who would turn it down.
Not to.
Right, exactly. So like
to be honest, even people, I think that might could swing people even that's like a low tier pro.
I disagree.
Nah, if you're a pro player already,
if you're already in the league,
what I'm saying is, say you have the potential to join the league, be a low tier pro, or have a full ride to school.
If you're in the pro league, go back to school.
I feel like
you have your chance to go pro, you go pro.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like if you're already working your way towards pro, that like there's already probably some money on the table for you there, and
Yeah.
you'll want to put everything into the game at that point to try to, get into the pro league.
Especially
if you're in the pro league, like you have to be grinding,
right?
Like,
Especially
you
now that
can't
we're
have
franchise, bro. Now that we're franchise is the thing. Like it's a
I'm
wrap
just
on
saying
that.
because look at it like this. There's people there's still been baseball players, because that's the main thing you see now, that could very well go pro, make it to the bigs in a year, but choose to go to college because they have the right amount of money throughout them.
Well, that's different. That's a traditional sport. You can't compare that.
Even then, though, I'd argue that a lot of the times when it comes to college sports, like we see it in basketball all the time, just a bunch of one and dones. They play.
Yeah, you go 1 year and then you're gone. If
they're not there for the money, they're there for the experience of playing in college and then getting into the NBA drafts. And
well, the NBA draft is because you can't go straight out of high school now. In baseball, you have the option to go straight out of high school.
No, if you go straight out of high school, though, you have to deal with the rookie salary cap. If you graduate college, you don't have to deal with the rookie salary cap. That's why most people go through college for baseball.
At the end of the day, I feel like when it comes to the professional sports, if they're on the precipice of being pro or good enough to be pro, they'll just go pro.
Yeah. And I think the barrier of entry is about to. Well, granted, we don't know the structure of the AM circuit yet, but I feel like the barrier of entry is about to be a little harder to go pro.
Oh yeah,
100%.
So So I feel
it's gonna be a copy and paste of the Overwatch League. There's gonna be pro teams, and then there's gonna be the feeder teams, and that's gonna be about it.
Right.
I've actually heard that the AM circuit's gonna be a little bit different than the Overwatch League.
Oh God, I hope so.
That'll be interesting.
The one thing that's going to be really interesting, not to make this a franchising discussion, but we won't see these teams like Midnight, E6 and IW that just come out of nowhere and start frying, these pro teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
With franchise, it's just going to be the teams, and either you're good enough to get on the roster or you're not. It's not that team that just comes out of nowhere. So if you want to have your spot, your individual performance has to be at its highest level.
Yeah.
I just wonder how they're going to recruit new people if you're not going to have an up and coming AM team.
That's what I'm wondering about too.
So
if you have a spot, you can pretty much pick anyone you want.
How close do you think y'all's individual esports orgs are to doing taking a Davenport route and actually recruiting people for the CCL?
For the CCL or for other esports?
Oh, I guess you can say esports in general.
All right.
Go for it, Jay.
John, after you,
so,
my dog.
For the CCL, right? One of the people that I think actually had a really good tweet thread about this was Clerky again. He talked about how he thinks college COD's a good thing, and he thinks that it definitely could be one of the biggest college esports leagues out there, but it needs Activision support. I think the problem for a lot of schools is they don't know whether or not these leagues are going to have longevity. Mm-hmm. So they don't want to throw money into something they're not sure of. It's publisher backed. They know for a fact that it's going to have at least a little bit of longevity, and that's when they're willing to start throwing money into the pot. But as of right now, I think Davenport, what they're doing is good, and I think that's really good for esports as a whole. But at the same time, I think schools need to be cautious if a game, it doesn't have a lot of developer support.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, my school specifically, so on the admissions ballot, when you're filling out for school, there's a specific section saying interest in esports, what game, blah blah blah. But they haven't said anything about scholarships, and they've promised us a lot of things, a newly built facility to play in.
Mm-hmm.
But that's always getting pushed back, and there's always an excuse.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the majority of people want it to happen at Butler. It's just someone at the top's just holding back for some reason.
Yeah. For Ole Miss, we just
pretty far ahead.
Yeah, we just recently got an esports director, and he immediately went into talks, more so, which is wild to me because when I joined, we didn't even have a COD team, and now at this point, he's if we get scholarships, y'all are first in line. If we get scholarships, he literally said this, y'all are the first in line to get them. Even if we don't give them to any other team, your team is the first team that's gonna get them. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think ours is sort of on the fence too in terms of empty promises. I guess we also got promised the facility and stuff, which the facility to me is yeah, it'd be awesome, it'd be great, but it's not that's not on the top of my list. I think for me the thing I'm working on right now is to try to get player incentives like different stuff on campus. Like I know one thing I'm working on is like the athletes get like first dibs on picking like class times and stuff. Yeah, right. I'm trying to get that like for us too, and so like just stuff like that. But like in terms of like following Davenport, I think we're like really really close. But I think like us playing the way we did this past season and like we like increased the popularity of our esports org like as a whole. Like I think before we made our big CCL run, we had like 300 or so Twitter followers, and like throughout the season now we're like at 1,000. So it's like I think like how much we contribute to the popularity of our org, I think they recognize that finally. And like I told J Pro this, like I got an email after we lost in grand finals, and it was like of all these like higher ups that like literally had like a little like mini party and watched our entire like grand finals. Like the chancellor of our school was watching us playing grand finals. And so like cool. Yeah, to have like that kind of backing already, I think like scholarships can't be like too far off. Maybe not this year, but like maybe the year after, of course, when I graduate.
Oh, didn't you switch to sociology? So is that when you
Yeah, I might go for my master's though, so maybe I'll still be around. Yeah. We'll see.
Are we? Yeah. Is our post grads allowed to compete?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, looks like I'm going to grad school.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think the whole scholarship thing comes down to like us, the players, us, the tournament organizers, the league organizers, like admins and like school officials like can hear about esports so much, but if they don't see people actually wanting to do it within their own campuses, they don't see the positive feedback it's bringing back towards the school. Like if they don't see that, nothing really will happen. It's on us realistically to make it so they're in a position where they see all the good things that esports is doing for their school and all the good things the school is doing in esports that almost forces them to try to work with the esports organization within the school. Because I know my school, like really small esports club, everybody's trying to work it, and then we had a pretty good. Here's the Storm team, even though that esports now dead, RIP. But like the school just hired an esports director for this coming year because they're thinking, okay, there's something actually here. The scholarships are going to be coming with the next few years, I've been told. So it really is just on the players to make sure that we're on top of our game and making sure they know we're out there.
Adam, you don't really talk about much in terms of like OSU esports. Like, what do you think?
Because COD doesn't mean shit to OSU esports, unfortunately.
COD doesn't mean anything to Butler either.
OSU is like so CS League Overwatch focused. So like we're getting a facility, but it's like going to be all PC.
Well, the good thing about that is though, COD's going to be going to PC probably.
That is true.
Next year.
That might help too.
That'll help.
There's like a huge like console stigma at our campus for some reason.
Oh yeah, it was like that for us too at first, 100%.
Yeah, no, that and but like also Activision franchising, even if like AM players aren't gonna like it, it's gonna be good for college because it higher ups are gonna notice.
I think a lot of like the console stigma is gonna go away because of franchising too. Like I feel like people are gonna be like, people are gonna be like, oh wow, like COD's like legit now. Like they're
people are definitely gonna respect it more.
Right, I agree.
In terms of like trying to change the stigma, I think a better placing probably would have helped.
Yeah. I mean, y'all had a good season.
Our Overwatch team is like actually nasty. Like
so and Rocket League.
And Rocket League. Yeah. So like that's what they're most focused on. Like that's the.
Did you ever like go to the meetings and stuff like as a team, or was it just you? No,
it's just me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I think. Well, that's another thing. Like I think that helped us is like once we all actually started like going to meetings. Even in season 0, like Brennan, me, Will, Sam, we will all like go to the meetings and people like got to know us like as a team.
Well, it's kind of weird for us. Our meetings are on Discord and it's just captains.
Really?
Oh, that's weird.
That's weird. We have in-person
like every week, I think.
Yeah, we have them every Thursday.
Or no, sorry, every.
They're moving to in-person ones, but
okay, yeah, in-person meetings are definitely beneficial.
So I know with us, we would have like they would try to set up. Technically, it's supposed to be every other Tuesday for like everybody to come like in person, and then like if there was something that needed to be covered each week, we would hop in like Discord. But like we would still have in-person meetings.
So we do officers meetings every other week, and then we do like in-person meeting once a month for the entire club.
Yeah, I think we do like entire club every week, but like the thing with us is
how many people show up?
That's the thing. Like our like we have so many people in our Discord, but not a lot of them actually come to the meetings. So like,
that's what they're worried about it.
Yeah, one of the things we have to like really work on this semester or this year, I guess, is like trying to increase like the retention of people that come to meetings like throughout the whole year. Because our first meeting like of the semester is usually always pop, and like there's so many people that show up, and then it's like after that, like the drop off is just huge.
Yeah, same for us. We had 120 people come out the first meeting, and by the end of the year, we had like maybe 20.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is for us. Like you start to see the same people every week, and it's like I don't know. I guess like for me, like no shade to our old president, like he was a really good president and all, but like his meeting style and format, like he would say, okay, the meetings start at 7:30, and I would literally see like new people show up at 7:30. But all they would do for like the first 30 minutes is sit around and talk and like watch like cringy meme videos like on the TVs and stuff. And like I would literally see like new people that had never been there before get up and like leave because they're like, okay, I don't know what's going on because the meeting's supposed to start at 7:30. And then like at 8 o'clock by the time it starts, like half the room is cleared because like you scared off all the new people. So it's like, so I think our new president definitely like hopefully changes the meeting structure, and I think that'll help out a lot too. But I think in-person meetings are definitely a lot better than Discord meetings. Like I don't. Yeah. We have our officer meetings are on Discord, and I think that's fine. But like getting to know the people in your org, I think helps a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I think the officer thing's good, but like for me, I'd be like in favor of in-person meetings for like the whole club, like you guys do. But like for me, it'd just be so annoying because like if it's at 6 and I like don't have classes for a while, like I live off campus, so it would just be annoying to go back and forth. So that's why
bigger school.
In terms of like officer stuff, I'm cool within Discord, but they are moving to in-person meetings stuff.
Yeah, usually like because like I usually don't have classes till our meetings either, but like I'll like finish classes or something, and then I'll just go like to a building on campus and just do work like the whole night until then. Yeah. And like I literally live like 5 minutes from campus, so it's not that bad. I don't know how far you live.
But I'm lazy.
Oh my god.
Dude, nah, bro, Columbus is something to navigate. Like,
I imagine it's like a big city. Yeah.
It's not a big city, bro. The streets are just all one ways. It's whack.
Oh wow. That's a
And like I live super close, but you have to park far away from like buildings.
So Shaq, I'm interested like with your school because like y'all, well, first of all, you're the only person as a team here that's just like downright bad. Like no offense, but like your team is pretty bad. So like, but you have other esports, like other games that y'all are like pretty decent at actually. So like, do you know how close y'all are to getting like scholarships? Because y'all don't partner with the university yet, right?
We are club sports status now. We've went from club status to now we're club sports status, so we do get some help. But last thing I knew, Jay, they were gearing up, like hopefully maybe to try to make a push for varsity in the next like year or two. I really don't know all of that. I'm not like one of the big officers. I'm just like a Kai captain. So I don't really know all that status. But
so what's the status on like? Do y'all know like OSU? Are y'all still a club or like are y'all?
Yeah, we're still a club, but like since we've hired a director and everything, like certain teams are probably going to be like varsity status and get like university like clothing and book bags and the classes scheduled and stuff like that. So I think that'll happen either this year or probably next year.
That'd be dope.
So us being club sports status, we're
switching to CS.
we all got like we do have to like go by
Adam,
university.
I'm ready. Grind it out.
I know when we hit club sports status, like we had to like rebrand everything and actually go by like official university stuff. Well, I know that. When we hit clubs, because that's like the same like situation as like the club baseball team, like our multinational team.
And it'll probably be similar for the other teams too. For us, they'll be club sports instead of just a club.
That's for varsity. I only worry that like down the road NCAA is gonna get their hands in it and just ruin it.
Yeah, we'll see.
If it goes NCAA route, that's scary for college esports.
Yeah,
that's a whole other topic.
So, do you guys know who the NAI is? It's like the NCAA's like rival, right? There's some other colleges. So there's have you guys heard of NACE, N-A-C-E, the National Association of Collegiate Esports? They're owned by the NAI.
Oh, that's good.
And I don't know per se like their style, but I'm just hoping. So there's a lot of schools, right? I was talking with Huntley and Jaybird about this the other night. And basically they're like, NACE has become almost this like NCAA-esque figure in college esports without actually having any sort of authority to make that call. Like just because, you know, they like proclaim themselves as this doesn't mean that like all these colleges have to like abide by it. And I know I was talking to them and like, yeah, on some job applications, they like specifically asked, do you like know like the NACE rules and their like protocols, even though they aren't necessarily like actually have any. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They don't technically have any power other than, you know, them saying they have power. So it's almost looking like it's already going that way, but I'm got my fingers crossed.
Well, because I know like my parents' friend is like the head of some NCAA section, and she wanted to pick my brain about like how to go about selecting like esports. So like the NCAA is definitely like hopping
bad
on the train.
They're bad for esports,
but they are so bad for esports.
Yeah.
Like the Big East is already like we have for the Big East we have Rocket League invitationals, and we have like a League of Legends league, and it if they just do copy and paste an NCAA league and stuff, it's just gonna spiral downhill.
Not to mention they're gonna have to change bylaws if it goes to NCAA, but.
Because one of the things I think we all agree that is like the worst part about the NCAA is you can't monetize yourself as an individual athlete. Yeah. So like Serge can make money from streaming. You know, nobody can make money off of doing, you know, anything in the video games industry because of
can't play any of these online tournaments.
No, you can't play.
You can't like if I want to wager at him for a $1v1, that's illegal. Like
I'll get you kicked. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm sure they'd maybe like try to address some of those issues. I don't think it would be like straight one for one. I think
NCAA is just ran by too many older people for that to be happening.
It's the same issue that we see in esports right now is people who come from traditional sports try to apply traditional sports practices to esports, and like 99% of the time it falls flat on their face because esports doesn't operate the same way as traditional sports.
It's a new entity and they're trying to just copy and paste it into something else.
I think like for me, like this is gonna be our first year like as like a varsity program. And like I think the thing that scares me the most is like I think like the tolerance for traditional sports teams at universities having a bad season is like way higher than if say a esports team has like a very bad season. Yeah. So like I can see like Kai, we just had a really good year, right? Say like we just fall flat on our ass this year and like just place like dead last or something like
who's taking Slacky's spot, bro?
and like how is that gonna look? Like how is our school gonna react? Are they gonna be like, okay, well no, like we're not doing this, we're pulling our money back? And like I said, like I feel like the tolerance for it is so much higher with traditional sports because our football teams had plenty of bad years and they're still working out plenty of money for them, you know. So it's like
I think it also depends on what school you go to. We go to a SEC school.
Yeah.
But then you also have to realize how much money does football bring in, whereas esports isn't bringing in
money.
Well, that's Butler was banking.
You have like sponsorships for your sport and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I mean like Butler was banking off of our basketball team this year, making them a bunch of money, you know. But they were terrible. They didn't even make the tournament. For funding and stuff, like we had to stop building like this science building and stuff because we just had zero money. No, but like, of course, but like basketball, like everyone prioritizes that, obviously. But like if the League of Legends does poorly this year, or Rocket League, or like we got lucky and to have 5 players from a 5,000 mount school. To make in the CCL, but no, if we do terribly in everything we do this year, they're not going to care about us anymore.
Right, it's a scary thought. It's a scary thought. Like it's exciting to like have your school like start to back you and stuff, but like I feel like it's so much more pressure. Like once you start having all those like eyes on you.
Yeah. They're waiting for. Oh, sorry, Justin.
I think our school think it's slick because it like lowers our ACT requirements. So it can get a lot of students and fund the school. Like
I gonna do what? I can barely hear Justin.
He's saying like
ACT requirement is like a 16.
That is
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
IC.
It is
Wow.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
I think like
That's true.
Mississippi State though is like a 20,
What?
I think. Or something.
But see, the thing about ours is like you can get in with that, but so many people like drop out of our school because like it's not like a 16 like ACT like
Right.
class level like
They're gonna educate you either
right
way.
yeah, so it's like they get that first year's money out of a lot of people, but then like their retention is
that's
bad.
a lot of schools though, I think. But
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think that's a good transition into the next topic. So I read an article yesterday when I was reading, and apparently in 2024 like esports are actually like being considered, and like in the replies and stuff I saw like a lot of people like mad about it, like they were like really mad. They were like, what are you're getting these fucking gamers in with these athletes like so it's like what do y'all like, do y'all think it should be in it, or do you think it should be just separate?
I don't think it should.
I mean, here's the thing.
it can be like its own section. But yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm indifferent about it, but like if synchronized swimming's in it, you know, like come on.
Oh, but that's okay. Another thing I saw. They said that so because so you know a lot of events, it's like the ESPN Collegiate League, like they took out a lot of like the esports that had like a real life like violence and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So for the Olympics, they were saying that they would probably only be esports like based on traditional sports, or like like Rocket League, Overwatch maybe. So
I swear, if FIFA and the NBA are in it, I'm gonna flip out.
Yeah, that was my thing. I was like, I wanted to be in there.
That would be whack.
Yeah, but I was.
I think,
bro, I
like,
said I want esports to be in there because I think it'd be a really, really, really good look. And I think as far as us and how it relates to us, I think for collegiate esports it would be huge. But at the same time, like if they're gonna cut out like the staple video, and not even talking from Kai, because we all play Kai, like Kai doesn't have to be in there, it probably won't be.
CS:GO,
CS:GO, CS, Rocket League, Overwatch, like R6, even like those are staple games that I feel like need to be in it. Like you're not gonna have like the outcome that you want, and I don't think they understand that. Like nobody's gonna watch Madden in the Olympics. Like,
I'm not gonna care about an
if that's the first
2K.
like if that's the first like look someone gets into esports and they see like I was watching an NBA 2K League today for the first time. That shit's like pretty boring to watch. Like people would not get interested, but if they see like a huge like Rocket League play or something like that.
And honestly, I think like outside people, like the people that I was just talking about that were commenting that stuff, are going to be more critical of it if they are playing games that mirror traditional sports versus if you have like something completely like separate and like they tune in just out of curiosity and see like them playing like a shooter or something.
Yeah. I see both sides because it would make more sense to the like casual viewer if they see something they're familiar with. Whereas like CS or like especially COD, that's why a lot of people complain about COD is because COD respawn is so fast paced that it's hard to follow what's going on if you've never seen the maps or played the maps or something.
So Shaq, you
I think it's a win.
Wait, what's up?
Win-win for both the Olympics and for just esports.
Yeah, that's I agree.
If they choose the right esport, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
I don't think we're anywhere. Like I think we need to get it established more domestically before we try to put it in the Olympics.
It'll be a lot bigger by 2024.
Internationally, it's more established.
That's 5 years away.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That is 5 years away.
I think in the end of the day, picking these non-violent neutral esports, I think is probably a really good introduction on the world stage. Like not only for esports, but for like the people who haven't seen esports before, right? Imagine like showing up and seeing like a hard point. They have no idea what's going on, but they see FIFA or they see Rocket League, games that are either
simple
like super familiar
watch.
to them.
Rocket League. I'd be happy for Rocket League to make it. Like that's super hard to play and super easy to understand.
Right.
But if FIFA or NBA's in it, it's a mess up.
On the other hand, if like you watch Rocket League, like Rocket League is almost like too simple. Like people would say, "This is dumb. I could do this." Like,
that's true.
You don't realize like how hard it is until you actually play it. So
I
mean, I feel like
in that sense.
I feel like people feel the same way about basketball.
Right. I was about to say you can say that about other sports because like we might like make a mockery of like stuff like water polo. Yeah, like water polo and like traditional.
Water polo is
right. That's what I'm saying. But a lot of people look at it and will be like, "Yo, like what is this? Like I can get in the water and do this." So I feel like it's the same thing thing. Like you just have to like dabble into it to really understand it. Like I used to say the same thing about Rocket League, and I'm in esports. Like the first time I saw Rocket League, I was like, bro, let me play this. I'm about to smoke people, bro. Like I was getting smoked in Rocket League. Bro. Like, it is tough.
Like how much skill it actually requires.
I'm not bad at it.
It's difficult.
But the people that are on the team at my school just run circles around me.
So like if y'all had to pick like 3 like not realistically like violent esports for them to introduce into the Olympics, what would it be?
So basically
violent or non-violent?
No, non-violent. Like if they go the non-violent route, which one?
Well, I mean, I think if we're being realistic, if the first one, even as much as I hate to say it, I think the first one that would ever make it in it would be League.
I disagree.
I don't think so.
League's way too complicated.
Way too complicated
to follow. I played League and I don't understand what's
it's like the most. Unless I'm lost, it's like the most like worldwide esport though.
Sure, but like
Dota,
the Olympic stage isn't for like worldwide esport. It's for like the worldwide audience of everybody that's watching. It's like we're isolated in our own bubble of esports. Like all of us know about esports, right? We've all had experience with it, but like people that see it for the first time, like if they see League of Legends, they will have zero idea what's going on, and it just puts a bad taste in their mouth for future esports.
Even with traditional sports, if you don't know the sport, like you can pretty much tell like the goal, like in football you need to make it
except for like Australian football or like but that's why
I still don't know how fucking cricket works, but
but it's like
the point
your fault, like,
whereas like if you look at League, I have no idea what's going on.
I mean, I know
I played it myself.
I know a little bit, but it's
I know how to play it. I just don't know all the champions.
Right, and see, like, and we're involved in esports, and that's the problem. Like, we don't
like. I feel like you can't appreciate it unless you like know like this one play that a champion made because of like his ability or something.
Right.
It would be super hard to introduce correctly, and I just don't think the Olympic audience would take to it very well.
Right, and I think.
But if it was like sectioned off in like its own type Olympic type thing, I think that would be good.
Esport Olympics like that.
That'd be dope.
I think that would be like very appreciated. And
the one thing that's like really interesting is like the World Cup that like Overwatch is doing, PUBG's doing. Like it's essentially the Olympics.
Overwatch has been doing that for like 3 years now, right?
Yeah,
I think that's a better option.
I just think like so if I had to pick 3, I would definitely have Rocket League in there just for like because what Jack said earlier, because like it's so hard to play, and I don't think people will realize that of course, but I think like the simplicity of it and how easy it is to understand. Like at the Egg Bowl, for instance, we had a lot of people that like had never watched esports before show up, and a lot of them said Rocket League was their favorite because it was so much fun to watch, and it's so easy to understand. I think if I had to throw an FPS in there, I would probably, since it's not like realistically violent, I would do Overwatch.
Absolutely,
I'll put Overwatch in there, and I think
I still don't know what's going on in Overwatch.
I don't know.
But I feel like
it's pretty easy.
I think Overwatch
does a really good job of explaining stuff.
The casters in the Overwatch League are incredible. What they do,
especially if they do like a preview. What the game mode is and things like that.
Yeah, I think they would have to if they're introducing the Olympics. So I think like so like I definitely think
gonna be any shooter like that's the most like
non-violent, right?
Yeah, it
has to be. And I guess like if they do end up going like the sport game route, then I would say probably. I don't know.
It'd have to be
it'd have to be FIFA, bro.
No, it'd be
NBA. No, you're right. Yeah, international, right? It'd be FIFA. Yeah, that's true.
No, but
everyone plays soccer.
Here's the thing. I do.
Basketball's national though. Basketball's international though too.
But they play it so different.
But 2K though, bro.
I'm just saying that Europeans love American basketball stars, like absolutely love them, and that's why the U.S. Olympic basketball team is just massive everywhere because everyone loves seeing them play. And like on top of that,
and plus American basketball players go to China all the time too about it and go over to Asia.
I just think it would be FIFA.
Soccer's bigger, plain and simple, but for Esports, I'd see NBA just because NBA has more money involved in it. They have a professional league. So that's why I don't think because of popularity that NBA would be chosen. I think NBA would be chosen just because they have a franchise league.
I would agree with that if I thought that 2K internationally would be like super competitive, but I think like America would literally just run that whole event. And I feel like
that's true.
with
I forgot.
with FIFA, I feel like would be so much more like competitive, like on an international scale. So that's why, I think FIFA would definitely probably be the pick. Is FIFA people that play FIFA competitively? Is it, they just play 1v1 or is it like
it's
1v1? Okay. Oh, that'd be
my cousin. You guys know Castro?
I think it'd be more interesting if they had
Castro.
Yeah, my cousin knows him, bro.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's wild. Like, you know how competitive that would be to like represent your whole like country in FIFA,
one guy.
That would be crazy.
Jesus, dude. But that, like, I don't know, bro. I think it could work, and I think the first year if they do introduce it in 2024 is going to be important, because I think at that point, like, the target audience isn't us. Like, it's not the people that are involved in esports. It's to try to
grip. Yeah. I just think that if it does start with like esport games, then it's just gonna get so much backlash, because you're gonna be seeing like FIFA Brazil playing against FIFA Germany, and then the actual Brazil team playing actual Germany. No one's gonna give a shit about FIFA. Brazil and Germany are playing.
I think the one thing Paris 2024 will do for esports is it'll set the tone for esports going into, the rest of the 2020s into the early 2030s. Like, I know that's so far out to think about, but still, like, if that's like the first taste somebody gets of esports and it goes poorly, it just makes it so much harder for the rest of us to try to push through. And I think esports has already made a lot of, leaps and bounds in 2017, 2018, 2019.
Absolutely.
But if we don't continue that momentum and like 2024 goes badly, we might be set back to 2015 esports.
Yeah, right. I mean,
simple, because nobody will want to pay attention, nobody will care.
I hate to say it, but like, if we want to get the casual viewer, the casual network involved, you just have to show them the numbers. Like, I wrote a research report on it for my internship for my company, and like by 2022 it's a borderline $2 billion industry, and nobody knows about it. Nobody knows about it.
Wait, so if they do have it in 2024, are we making a trip to the Olympics, bro?
I've got, dude.
I'm down. I'm down, bro. I'm down. Yo, I'm down, bro. I'm actually. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm dead serious. Like, I'm actually down to go, bro.
I'm just upset I missed.
We got 5 years. We got 5 years to plan. I wouldn't. Wait, so when would they announce it though? Like, if it's actually gonna happen?
Oh, so they'll announce it.
They'll announce it
probably
beforehand.
after the 2020 games, if I were to guess.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so we would still have like 4 years. Okay,
yeah,
that's dope.
Hey, I'm down.
Listen,
we'd get a lot of time to figure it out.
CCO.
They announced Rocket League, bro. I'm grinding
Rocket
League for the next 4 years.
Fact. Bro, wouldn't that be crazy if we all made like the American team, bro? Oh my god, that'd be dope.
We won't, but that's a nice thought.
Honestly, screw COD. I'm on Rocket League.
We're all Rocket League players now. We're all Rocket teams.
Yeah. See, COD's
Rocket
another.
League, yes, anything but COD right now.
Yeah,
bro.
COD's another one where I feel like they wouldn't. I think that's another, like, back to the whole 2K thing. Like, the U.S. would dominate COD. Like, nobody's gonna want to play us in COD.
I disagree.
Yeah, the US.
Really? Whoa! You think we would dominate COD?
I wouldn't say we.
I think that would be a lot closer. Personally, I think
it'd be closer.
We already do, bro. Like, EU teams
get smoked. Yeah. And then like
but they still have good players. Like, they can. I don't know.
I mean,
like, it'd be still more competition than say NBA. Like,
I think it would be more even. Like, if you actually took like the best 5 players from each country, I think it would be a little more competitive.
Like, you could argue that for League of Legends, bro. You take everyone from Korea and it's GG.
Like,
simple. It's Korea.
I'd argue Europe's better right now.
No.
It depends if like the current like players would represent their home countries right now.
Yeah, that's like if you Korean-based players for South Korea. South Korea is going to win because the good European teams and the good North American teams all have Korean players on.
Yeah.
But I think that gap is a lot closer in League than it is in COD. Like, if you say you take 5 players from Japan and put them against our 5 best players, do you really think
you're saying Japan?
Okay, even Europe. Give me a 5-player team from Europe.
Any single European country.
The Red Reserve last year. Like, that was an all-European team, and they placed second twice?
Well, that like what Adam said though, like it's based on country, right? So you would have to pick like based on not Europe as a whole.
They were all the UK, to be fair.
And Red Reserve was all UK, And then you have.
But like,
Giants
look at every
all
other
Spanish.
championship, bro. Like, I guess there's teams are mixed this year, but like 100 Thieves twice.
Yeah, no,
Optic.
I'm not saying it won't be absolutely
LG.
one-sided. I'm just saying that
your team hasn't won this year.
most esports have a one-sided like.
I was gonna mention
nationality.
Twice.
I mean,
but
Canada would even
they've
be
been
an
consistent,
interesting team. Like,
Wait,
That's
Canada
true.
would be the best team.
Yeah,
yeah.
Canada
Wait,
Canada
hold on,
would be
yeah,
nasty.
you
I forgot about
Douglas,
them.
Karma, Dashi,
Yeah, I forgot about them. Canada would be nasty, bro.
Canada would be disgusting.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, bro.
They'll get Illy next year because
Woo!
Illy turns 18.
Illy,
Illy's not
gonna
gonna be representing Canada.
Unjar.
Illy's never played as a pro.
Yeah, I mean, neither
Bro,
would
all I'm
Sim,
saying
but
is I
Sim's
beat
proud.
Cillium in a wager in IW. All I have to say. Like, I'm just.
Is
Yeah,
10 times better than Illy.
but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I'm excited. And if we go, wouldn't that be something, bro? We look back on this episode and I'm like, we actually end up going to Paris. That'd be wild. That'd be wild, bro.
Well, I'll have to set a calendar reminder.
First, we need to get a house in California and I'll get professional jobs out there, bro.
Let's not get in California.
No,
not?
I like
Let's go to
Cali.
Texas. Let's go to Texas,
Bro, I love it.
Texas?
Everything about Cali I loved, but the traffic, bro, I could not.
Yeah.
No.
That's why-
Hey, listen,
Let's
listen,
go
listen,
move
But
to
listen.
Anaheim was not bad.
Hey,
LA
in
is
my-
bad.
One
in my
simple
opinion-
word.
in my opinion, if you move to Southern Cal, you need to go to San Diego.
Electric
It's, it's so much like
Okay.
less. It's
I
not
just buy
even
a bird,
close to
bro.
the amount of traffic that's in LA.
Yeah,
San Diego's
I
cool.
guess what Adam said is true. Like Anaheim wasn't too bad traffic wise, but it was still like coming from. But you gotta think I'm coming from Mississippi. Like I lived in
Yeah.
Chicago for a little
Anaheim's
bit.
Not bad.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
like-
Chicago traffic's bad, but
Yeah, it's still it was different from like Cali traffic. Though we're like
Oh,
we were
absolutely.
sitting in Cali and we
It was
were
bad
not
for me.
moving, bro. Like we were sitting there with Ricky and we would sit in one spot for so long. I just be like, bro, like I can't. Like I don't want to do this.
Like Jack, put this in perspective. It took us 2.5 hours to go 40 miles out there. We can go
Okay.
40 miles here in like 35 minutes.
yeah, but that's Mississippi, bro. Like, if you live in Chicago, like, and not if you live in city life, you're gonna know traffic.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't know, bro. I don't think I
I
could
live
do
in
it.
Columbus, and LA is like still the worst traffic I've ever seen.
I mean,
but like,
Columbus.
it was tough,
What, it's
bro.
only
I
like
wouldn't wanna live,
500,000
in LA anyway.
Oh no, I don't want. I'm just saying, California's a vibe.
I'll live there with you, Jack.
Hey, my man.
I mean, if we all get jobs in esports, then I think that's definitely
Yeah.
the way. Or
Got a lot of text there too.
let's go balls to the wall, bro. Let's all drop out and just start a content house. Start a content house, bro. Just-
I'm down, bro.
It worked out for the mob. It didn't work out for us, bro.
one year,
hold on. Hey,
one year
how long
later,
is
we're
this
all on the
episode?
streets begging for cash. One year later, we have a GoFundMe. Help us out, please.
We just need one more month and we'll make it.
We'll blow up. 1000%.
Oh my god, bro. Oh
Now let's go
man.
to Texas. Let's go to Texas.
I'd be down to go to Texas. Like anywhere outside the Midwest.
Texas is so damn hot.
Texas is at
So
as
is
hot as
California.
LA.
Yeah, California was hot.
Oh.
I okay.
Like
It depends where in Texas.
99%
Hold on,
humidity.
hold on. With California, we don't have to deal with earthquakes. Or sorry, with Texas, we don't have to deal with earthquakes.
Okay, like earthquakes
gotta
is
deal
gonna
with-
affect your daily life anyway.
John's one of those guys I think
I don't
California.
know. I don't know.
We can't go to Illinois because of tornadoes, bro.
But no, we don't have to deal with ridiculous taxes. You know, it's just Texas.
That's
kinda
fair.
nice.
That's true.
That's
Got
true.
nice
That's a
stuff.
good point.
I'd be down with
And, like,
Texas too.
Te-
Texas
Me
is
too.
the nightlife.
Like,
I've heard really good.
This is a future
Yeah, I'll be
topic
down
for
for Texas.
discussion. But I've had this conversation with so many people. But Dallas, Texas, is the home of esports. Like Hollywood. Is
I knew
like
that was his
Hollywood,
main reason.
But Dallas, Texas, is the home of esports, and it's going to be the home of esports in the United States.
Wait, I thought
years
I thought the esports arena was in Arlington.
I mean, it is, but I still think that Dallas is the home. What Dallas is doing to make it easier for content creators, all the things they have around there, it's just so much better. Like that, they have 2.5 of the biggest brands: Envy, Complexity, and Optic. That's
I think like
Optic.
that's why I said half.
I know one thing I will say about Dallas, and it might be just because like I'm in the South, but I've seen them give like so many like collegiate esports leaders and young esports leaders in general like opportunities. The Dallas Fuel with the Dallas Fuel, like as far as
Right.
internships and stuff, they give out so many opportunities to people. Like
Didn't Mississippi State's president?
Yeah,
Didn't he
yeah.
have an intern with the
I
field?
think like two of them actually from their exec board like got to go and like intern with them like for a couple weeks like during the summer. That's like super dope.
That is sick.
So like I wish more like esports orgs would do that and like give people these shots.
My next trip should be Texas.
All right, I'd be down.
I'm down. I'll be down to go to Texas. I thought we were going camping, bro.
Oh yeah, what happened to that, bro?
I thought we were going camping.
I am not camping, you dumbass.
Adam, come on, bro.
Nah, we're gonna die.
Do I get to go?
Yes.
Shaq.
Hey, bro, Shaq from the country, bro. He might be our only hope.
I'm from the city, bro. I just need bug spray and I'm good to go.
Whatever.
Bro, we can go spring break camping trip. It's cheap. It's literally
Where
cheap.
we going?
Bro, let's go to
Yosemite. We'll talk about
I want to
this
camp in Yosemite, bro.
I might
Or
be
Yellowstone.
down.
Yosemite or Yellowstone.
Anywhere but Alabama. I just do not want to go to
That's how I
Alabama.
feel. Get me out of the Midwest.
Yeah, I'm not
Get me
going.
out of the Midwest and I'll be there.
I'm down, bro. I mean, that's literally like
Are you trying to fly somewhere to live in the woods for a few days and then fly back?
Don't tell me that's not the dream, bro.
I'm
There's
good,
like
bro.
some really beautiful camping spots, though.
Yeah.
That'd be so much fun.
Oh, there-
I mean,
Honestly, how
Just come
good would
to
it
Ohio
feel to
and
take
go
a
hunting.
couple of days,
I'm not coming to
unplug
Columbus.
from the internet,
Come
you
on.
know, just be with friends, be social for once. It's not, you know, like I'm checking Twitter every 5 seconds,
Bro.
because I couldn't. I'd be totally be down to unplug for a little while.
This dude Ricky had a shower at his disposal the whole weekend. Just imagine Ricky without a shower, bro.
Oh my
Oh
No
my
way,
god!
bro.
Oh my!
Adam sucked
Oh,
me.
so y'all ain't talking about campgrounds. Y'all talking about like roughing it.
Oh, hey, we can do a cabin. We can do a cabin.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
down.
I'd do a cabin.
Yeah,
There's cabins.
cabin.
Cabins.
Okay, we can do a
Because
cabin.
what I'm saying is campgrounds have like bathhouses and stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
well,
Well,
man,
cabin
But
don't
like,
have a-
I could pee on a tree. I really don't care.
I mean,
like,
I am not
they have-
living with
His
Ricky.
leaves as a
When
toilet.
Yeah, I'd
he's
rather
so
live
like that.
outside. I'd rather live outside than live inside with Ricky.
hey, bro, this dude Justin just turned into a silhouette on his webcam.
So I don't know about there, but I know the campgrounds here. Like you have a spot, like you would have like a spot marked off, and you can go like set your stuff up, but then you can still walk up to like the bathhouse to like take a shower.
Yeah, that's how like
Mhm.
Hockenheim is. Yeah.
Hey, listen, let's go to Yosemite and get a cabin, bro. Like, I'm down with whatever.
Down.
I'm actually down, bro. We'll see.
I've actually never been to like a real national park, so I'd be down.
I haven't either,
I haven't
actually.
either.
Well, this might have to be a thing.
I need to
Yeah.
get a job or something.
Hey, real
Adam,
talk.
yeah,
my mom
wait,
just sent me a picture of us having a pop up like the other day. If y'all
Having a
trying to go
what?
anywhere close to here, I can bring a pop up.
Having a what is a pop up?
Yeah, I don't know what
It's-
that is.
It's like a
pop-up
pop. So
ca-
it's like a
camper
pop up
thing.
camper. It's like a pop up.
Oh, those
This
are
guy's
cool.
definitely from Alabama, bro.
Yeah, no, but the
My papa had one gave to him.
He said my papa.
I just drive. Yeah, just put that on your pickup truck.
Or I have a family friend that has take a
Yeah,
cross
what?
country road trip.
That's a
An
what?
RV.
Oh,
Dude,
an RV.
we could
Hell
run-
yeah. We
Yeah,
can
a
use
road
the
trip would be
RV.
so
dope. You ever see that movie RV with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could rent a fancy RV, bro, and go rolling through the
Nah,
country.
that shit's expensive.
I know.
It's
yeah,
not.
we're
It's
also
not.
not
It's
old.
not as
We're also
bad as
not
you
old
think.
enough. We have
Like-
to be 25 to rent cars.
Yeah,
so.
We could rent we could rent an RV and it would have been cheaper.
Casey
than renting,
rented one.
Yeah,
like
Casey.
35.
Yeah, he did really one. I think it
He
just
did
been
it
on
as like
stage.
a third party thing. It wasn't
Hey,
like a
Oh, okay.
legit company.
Hey, let
Yeah.
me find out. Let me find out who my aunt got one from, because my aunt and uncle rented an RV when they came from Houston and took like a little.
It wasn't a serious thing. We're not doing an RV.
No,
bro.
I'm just saying, like it's actually a lot cheaper than you think. It's not that expensive.
Okay.
I think a road
Just
trip.
letting you know.
I think a road trip wouldn't be the way, bro. I think a cabin,
Nah,
a nice little
I would
cabin
probably
trip.
punch someone by the
If I
end
had
of
to be
it.
Yeah.
stuck within like a 10-foot area with you guys, I'd probably lose 12.
Adam, you love me. Shut up.
Y'all trying to get like a cabin in the mountains then?
I mean, yeah.
Hey, bro, the
like I
mountains.
said,
Hey,
bro.
the mountains. I don't know about that one, buddy.
Yosemite is mountains.
Oh,
Why are you
okay.
trying to go Yosemite without mountains?
Listen, bro. Listen, that's where you start getting into wolves and Bigfoot and stuff like that, bro. I'm good. If I look out my window and I see a big dude, I might have to dip out.
You just invite him to come party and it's all good to go.
Nah, I don't think that's it, bro.
Hey, listen, you're telling me you're worried about seeing a big hairy man going.
Yeah, bro.
Like, that's your first worry about going camping? It's not like getting disease.
Honestly-
getting, like, injured.
honestly,
it's seeing Bigfoot.
At first, I might think it's Ricky, so I might not be that scared. But man,
Absolute unit, bro.
man, come knock on the door, I'm gonna be shook.
Whoever's in gray is an absolute unit.
All right, but we so the next thing we were supposed to talk about, we're supposed to review Spider-Man. I don't know. I know J Pro's seen it. Shaq has seen it.
Let's talk about something else, bro.
I don't think we can, bro. Justin, have you seen it? Have you seen it, Justin?
Yeah.
Okay, well, like,
We can F him for a little bit.
we're not gonna spoil anything. It's gonna be spoiler free review just for y'all. But like, so coming out of the first one, like, Adam, did you like the first one? Because I know you're like not like the biggest Marvel. Did you like the first Spider-Man like iteration, like with this Peter Parker, like Homecoming?
Tom Holland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't even seen Homecoming?
No.
What was the last Marvel movie?
I watched like the Avengers. That's pretty much it.
Oh.
And Iron Man.
Oh, you are.
That's pretty much it.
You're
to
bugging,
be honest,
bro.
I need to go back and rewatch Homecoming.
I need to watch more.
I don't
I've seen
remember a lot about it,
America.
but like I like
You're
this.
not
One.
talking.
No, I can talk about it. Like I know what. Like,
I tried watching Ant-Man. That shit was shocked.
I don't like Ant-Man, bro.
That's a good movie.
But I don't know. Homecoming was
I actually really
good.
like the actor. Paul Rudd, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Homecoming was good, but I think it was overrated.
I honestly, I do too. Like, I went back and rewatched it, bro, and like I think like the fights in that movie were so underwhelming. Like, there was
They
no
were underwhelming.
I think that was the point, though.
The villain was underwhelming.
the fights were.
I think the fight was really underwhelming, bro. And like,
I think that movie.
But I don't know. In my opinion, it was almost that way for this one too.
nah.
The best
Movie had
Spider-Man is
fight
Tobey
scenes.
Maguire.
That's right. Yeah, I don't.
This
I mean,
movie had some of the best fight scenes that I think I've ever seen. Like,
Whoa.
other than
That's
Endgame. I'm about to say Endgame was wild.
Other than like Infinity War and Endgame, I think this is probably.
I don't
like,
know.
some of
The
best fight scenes.
in-game fight scene let me down. A
No,
little bit
I
too.
think
Shaq, you're just wrong on
the
that.
Civil
What
War.
about
Civil War
Civil War
was dope.
Civil War, yeah.
Yeah, Civil War fight scenes were better, and the Winter Soldier
That
fight
was
scenes
one
were
of
better.
that was like my favorite fight.
Civil
I
War
think
is my
Captain
favorite.
America definitely has the best fight scenes.
Yeah, Captain America's
Yeah.
the Winter Soldier fight scenes were really good.
My boy Steve
I haven't
Rogers
seen
puts
it.
it out there, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
Captain America, without a shadow of a doubt, beats any Marvel movie in fight scenes.
Listen, like I said, bro. See my shirt.
Maybe. I
Captain
guess
America, bro.
I think the CGI was super sick and Far From Home. Like all. I don't know if I can say this without it being a spoiler though, because the trailer.
Bro, why is Justin still here giving me the finger? Like, I'm tired of it.
But without saying like much about the movie, I thought it was really good. I thought the villain was way better than Vulture was. I thought I'm not gonna spoil who the villain ends up being, but like
I know who it is. I'm not an idiot.
okay, see, and that's another thing for me that I didn't like. That's one of the things I like. I really,
if you know the comics, it's so dumb watching.
Right, exactly. I was really like looking forward to the movie, and then when I saw like they were trying to make Mysterio like this good guy, I was like,
why?
Like we know who.
Personally,
Spider-Man is.
I wasn't the biggest. I wasn't like completely in touch with a lot of the Spider-Man comics.
So it
like,
caught you off guard.
Yeah, like it caught me off guard when they were
Okay.
showing him good and
Yeah.
like that because like I didn't know what I've heard of him, but I didn't know like a lot of his story or anything.
Okay, see, I guess that works for like people that don't know much about like the Spider-Man like universe, but like for me, like I used to watch like the cartoons and everything, so like I knew who Mysterio was.
So
I had a 4-foot statue of it when I was a kid, bro.
Yeah, so it's like it
It
just
Adam, don't shake your head at me.
I will say those end credit scenes though.
bro, that first
I heard those.
no spoilers, but that first end credit scene, Jack, is the
Way too excited right
No,
now.
like-
Can you just tell me
Depends on
who it
the nut.
is, like who's in it?
okay.
Okay.
I
So
just want to know. Who's
okay,
Alright.
I'll tell you
Alright,
the first.
just
They have a
let me-
cameo from the
I wanna hear
old.
from Serge.
They have a cameo from the original like Jonah J. Jameson, right? and so
Oh,
like
okay.
no,
James
so yeah, they trick you into like being like, oh, this is amazing, like this is this happy like moment, and then they hit you with something, bro, and you're gonna be like, whoa,
Uh-oh.
like bro, like you're
Put it
gonna.
this way,
It's-
if you were a fan of the old Spider-Man movies, you're gonna love the end credit scenes.
With
And-
Tobey Maguire.
Wait,
Yeah.
Toby or
Yeah, the
With
Tobey
Toby.
Maguire ones.
I don't
Yeah, the
fuck with
Tobey
Toby.
ones.
But then
Nah.
like we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. But
Bro.
they like what they hit you with at that point, bro, is like
you're so sad walking out of the theater. You're like, oh, this movie is fantastic, and they hit you with the scene. You're just like,
literally,
No. Alright, so
literally,
no.
literally the end credit scene topped the entire movie to me. Like the first, it topped the entire movie. And then like when they hit you with that, like I've never maybe since like I'm trying to
revitalize the storyline from the old ones.
And I know, but I'm trying to think like I'm trying to think of another MCU movie that had a moment like that where everybody in theater was like, "Holy shit!" I guess.
I guess I can tell you a moment with the snap. I think that's the only other moment.
Yeah, the snap, and then like I guess like when Captain America grabbed the hammer. That's the only thing I can remember. But like, other than that, other than an Avengers movie, it's been so long since I've been in a movie where like there's a moment like that where everybody just goes like, "What the?" Like I literally, you could audibly hear everybody in the theater.
Scene. It's not in the actual movie.
It's the first. There's two. So there's two. The second one was but the first one was like really, really, really good.
I mean, the second one sets up something that if you like follow like the Marvel Studios subreddit has been pretty apparent.
Who's in it?
Past. Can I say?
I don't know.
Go ahead. We'll just have to put a spoiler.
Nick Fury's in it in the end credits.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know
is
something
it
I really
for the
look
Disney into? Plus? Is it like setting that up or no?
Nope.
Okay.
It set something else up. But essentially, like Far From Home. Felt like some sort of like not necessarily relief, but like a beginning of sorts, you know, for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Because after Endgame, I was like, oh, we get this really nice closure, you know, we see all these characters moving on with their lives, and then Far From Home, which is supposed to, you know, pick up all the pieces from Endgame, just comes out of nowhere and hits us with a bomb, and you're just like, oh, well, this is where the movie is seriously going for the next 4 years.
After you watch one of the movies, do y'all ever go on like YouTube and try to listen to like other people's like critical, like people who's like do this as like their job, their like critical opinion of how it ties into everything?
I only do that after, like you said, after I've seen it, and I only do it for MCU movies because
I do it for like the cut scenes, like the end credit scenes, especially.
See,
I only do it for trailers.
I do it for trailers to dissect it.
Because I've heard multiple people. It's a giant rumor going around it now about the next one, about them potentially. I don't know how they're going to do it. I have no idea even earthly how they would tie it together. But there's a giant thing about Tobey Maguire's going to show up with Tom Holland in the next movie.
There's no way.
No way they bring Spider-Verse to real life.
Yeah, there's no way. It's not happening.
I'm telling you, that's like the biggest thing going around right now.
No, that's just a bunch of like, there's like a bunch of fan-made posters going on Reddit, and people are taking those as like legitimate truth check. That's what it is.
I think
that would be amazing if they did it, in my opinion.
The biggest thing that I know me and J Pro talked about, and J Pro like me on that, like I said, no spoilers, but like there's something in the movie that alludes to them having to bring in Matt Murdock, and I think that them tying in Daredevil would be actually be really dope.
Well, did the cutscene have to do with like the Sinister Six? Like,
I'm not spoiling, bro. I want you to just see it. I want you to see it.
Put it this way: one of the cutscenes alludes to something that we already kind of knew was happening if you follow any of movies, but the other one's wild.
Yeah, like it's literally like usually out. Like if you told me to spoil something for you, I wouldn't care. But this thing is like so out there that I like you have to just.
To be honest, one of them alluded to something that I was expecting to happen in Endgame. Because if you watch those rumors and stuff, like those rumors and like those videos and stuff, and you actually follow like what goes on like within the universe, I was really expecting something to happen in Endgame that was debuted in that trailer that's going to be happening now.
So
okay.
I was gonna say, J Pro, I know you said you think this was better than Into the Spider-Verse.
I think this is the best Spider-Man movie ever made. I think that's like pretty good. Let me
I still think Into the Spider-Verse is better, bro. Go ahead and give your reason.
I think the plot in Far From Home is a lot better than Into the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse had a really good plot, don't get me wrong, right? But I think Into the Spider-Verse was like super predictable, like everything that was going to happen. And I don't think Far From Home was as predictable as Into the Spider-Verse was.
But here's the thing. We knew Mysterio was going to be evil, and they tried to...
Yeah, but like they changed his backstory up a little bit. Like he's not the same Mysterio from the comics.
Well, yeah, because he's a different part of the
multiverse. I didn't realize Into the Spider-Verse was an animated movie until I tried to watch it the other day.
I think Far From Home. If you looked up Mysterio, period, if you wanted to know who he was, you knew.
You would have known he's evil.
Yeah. would have known what he was gonna do to be the villain because they tell you what his powers are essentially.
I think for a movie coming off of one of the biggest like theatrical successes of all time in Endgame, Far From Home does a fantastic job of tying all the little pieces together that were broken at the end of Endgame, putting it all together for the future of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Like the trailers like allude to Peter Parker being the next Tony Stark, right? And I think it means it more ways than just like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but more so along the lines of like the leader of the movies going forward, like the guy that brings everybody together. Like Iron Man started out the MCU, and Peter Parker brings in the new era of the MCU. It just feels like the movie is trying to set up the future like they do with Iron Man, with all these new things together. And honestly, for a movie that's only 2 hours and 9 minutes long, does a darn good job of doing that, and does it in such a nice plot with some great CGI fight scenes that you don't, typically see a lot. Like I've seen all the Marvel movies, and I would say that this is like top 3 CGI fight scenes.
I low key want to go watch it in theaters now instead of.
Adam lost full.
Go for a check.
Because I had watched it online, and then I had to look up the post-credit scenes because I knew there was post-credit scenes. So
I would definitely go see it in theaters. Like J Pro said, that's one thing I will commend this movie. Like the CGI was really, really good. Yeah. Like there's a lot of like illusions and stuff in it, and it was so good.
This movie, I think so for me, because like the end credit scene made this movie a great movie.
Right? Yeah.
A really good one. And as far as like Spider-Verse, it was really
like a minute scene is that good.
Yeah, it's that good, bro. I'm telling you.
The first end credit scene to me is the best Marvel thing I've saw in a while.
It's 100% the best end credit scene Marvel's ever produced. Oh yeah, it's 110%.
Marvel's ever had.
You don't think it's the best one?
I mean, I think it has the most shock value, but like I think the best one for me is like the end of
Say Captain Marvel. What I heard you.
I think it's the end of Iron Man, where like he sits down with Nick Fury and talks about like the Avengers Initiative. Like for me, that one was just the most impactful because like, oh my goodness, like this is back in 2008 when none of this was like ever like we hadn't even conceived of an Endgame happening.
But we knew, we knew that the Avengers was like we knew it was coming.
We didn't know that. So the problem was Iron Man didn't have a script. I watched a whole bunch of interviews about it. Iron Man didn't have a script, like so they were on set just trying to figure out what exactly they wanted to do. It didn't really have that much like money and support. So like Iron Man, if Iron Man flops, we never get Endgame, right? We never get Infinity War. Like they put that post-credit scenes in hope that like something would come out of it, and the fact it did is impressive. And I think for me that just has like more value to it. Like I get it. This one has a lot of shock value. It's like crazy. But I think like the most meaningful and like most valuable in terms of like world building was that one in Iron Man.
All right, I got a question for y'all.
What do you say? Let him comment on that. Let Justin comment because I got something I want to say on that too.
I disagree on which one is more meaningful. Simply because the Iron Man one is when it was starting of the. Now you don't have the Avengers because you don't have Tony Stark anymore. He's gone. You don't have Captain America anymore. He's gone. So now he's like, what are we gonna do next? And I think that end credit scene, it had you left like it kept you really, really, really interested in the MCU.
And this kicks off Phase 4. Like this right here is like sets the precedent for whatever Phase 4 is about to be. Bro, I'm telling you, Jack. I'm telling you,
tomorrow, Jack.
The movie was still Phase 3. They said.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But this kicks off Phase 4. The end credit kicks off Phase 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was a hell of it was a really good way to do it.
Right. Way to do and even it was so impactful that even people that don't even keep up with Spider-Man like that will see that and be like, that is a big deal. Like that, what just happened right there is huge.
Okay. The one thing that we hear a lot about, and like a bunch of people talking about like superhero movies, is like the idea of superhero fatigue, that we're gonna get tired eventually of seeing all these superheroes on screen, and that at some point we're gonna want to stop. But that end credit scene made it so like I am so interested in the next like 5 years of Marvel filmmaking because of one end credit scene.
That's what I also like. Superheroes in general might get tiring, but like MCU and DC is never gonna get tiring because it has such a large fan base that people are always gonna want more.
Yeah, it's literally a part of like American culture at this point. Like if you come here, No, go ahead, Jack.
No, I was just, like compared to like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings.
Right.
People, no one's gonna get tired of it because there's such a large fan base for it.
And,
Even if it produces some shit and stuff, it's still gonna be loved.
Right.
Well, and there's such like a wealth of stories and arcs for them to base their movies off of. One of the things that I know everybody praises Game of Thrones about is that they had source material to go off of, and then season 8 came around and didn't really have the source material, and it was kind of mediocre quality. But like Marvel and DC have such a great history of great stories and great characters to tell that there's literally an infinite number of stories that they could make for the silver screen.
Absolutely.
So like so J Pro, like I said, you said that you think it's better than Into the Spider-Verse. I still personally think Into the Spider-Verse is better. Just because like, okay, so for one thing, they did a good job. Like there was a lot of characters I feel like in Into the Spider-Verse, but they made every single one of them like really, really lovable. Like I genuinely cared about every single one of those characters in that movie by the end. Even Fisk, like they managed to make Fisk like an actual character that you actually somewhat like had sympathy for towards the end when the whole thing about his family. And then also I feel like if you aren't a fan of superhero movies, I've seen people go watch Into the Spider-Verse and they're still like just like immaculated by how like good the movie is, like the animation and like all around, like the animation. Me and Jack talked about the soundtrack earlier, how good the soundtrack was. I think like Miles Morales like as a character was really super enjoyable. And I don't know, I just think like the barrier of entry from this compared to Far From Home is what I think what makes it better for me, because I don't think you can take somebody that isn't into Marvel movies to see Far From Home and then be like that into it. Like I think it's a great movie, don't get me wrong, but I think like it's more accessible to people. I think Into the Spider-Verse is more accessible, so I think for me that makes it all around like better movie.
I see where you're coming from, because everybody's heard the backstory of Peter Parker a million times, right? With Uncle Ben dying, gets bit by Radioactive Spider, but like not many people really know the backstory of Miles Morales, and this is like the first introduction we've really had of Miles Morales on the big screen. So I think like when you're talking about like the accessibility of the movie, I gotta agree, and I do think that all the characters in that movie were like really well done and very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Right, so what kind of y'all said something a minute ago, and I couldn't really understand what you said, and I don't really understand what you're coming from, because like I said, I haven't did a lot of the Spider-Man comics. Like I never really read a lot of those.
Yeah.
But when I was mentioning Tobey Maguire possibly making a return, what was y'all trying to say about ain't no way they go into like the Spider-Verse?
Well, like the movies Into the Spider, they made such a complex idea from the comics understandable for literally any viewer, and part of
so
that
what is that,
reason
like past Spider-Man's? Like
no,
it's
so it's like
multiverse.
so a multiverse. They call it Spider-Verse because there's different Spider-Mans in each dimension of the multiverse.
Yeah.
So you can only I don't see how they can do that I don't without the entire movie being like CGI. I don't know. That'd just be weird to me.
Well, so Spider-Man is such like a weird like understanding of the multiverse, because I don't know if any of you guys know who Madam Web is in the comics. She's like the spiders. Like, have any of you guys ever watched The Flash? This
show.
So you guys know like the Speed Force, the Speed Force. So like Madam Web is like almost the equivalent of like the DC Speed Force, in the sense that it like connects them all together. Like Madam Web essentially brings like all the Spider-Men together, and that's like kind of where the multiverse for Spider-Man goes in the comics. So it'd be so hard, I think, to adapt that character for the main for the silver screen, simply because of just how wild the story arc with her is.
So what if they brought that in then and somehow made it, because nobody's ever heard of that, like in the new age of Marvel, nobody's heard of that reporter.
What?
No, what are you talking about? I don't think that's true. You talking about Jameson?
Yeah, Jameson.
He's not in
any of the new age of Marvel. Like, what if they somehow adapt it to like, somehow he's, came across the multiverse, and then, like
no, because I think I think the demographic. So to your point that nobody knows who that is, I think like the demographic that's watching these movies and the people that are really into it are people our age that grew up on those Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
We know who he is, but like he's not even remotely made an appearance in any of the new age of like Marvel stuff. Like,
right, but
that different ways.
I could see it if Jameson was like in Homecoming and like Civil War when Spider-Man was introduced, but this is the first introduction to Jameson we're seeing at all like in the MCU.
So Jameson.
I know that's why I'm saying. That's why I think it could be spun easier that he's came across like the multiverse somehow.
Nah, I don't think it does.
I think it's different because the way Jameson is known for hating Spider-Man, and in Homecoming he didn't really have that many a reason to hate on Spider-Man. Spider-Man wasn't as big in his city; he was just starting. And then when the next time you saw Spider-Man, he was playing with the Avengers, and he wasn't nowhere near New York. So it's kind of different now that he's there and he's been exposed. He is now in his city, and he got a lot of more from people around there. It's different now. That brings some reason to.
But the old ones, like no matter what he did, like he was always finding a way to spin it bad.
I think like if we do see something like with a Spider-Verse, it's gonna be. They confirm Into the Spider-Verse 2 is like gonna happen. So like, I actually saw a comic where like I don't know what the comic is called, but there's an actual comic where like there's all the Spider-Men from the Spider-Verse like come together and they actually like fight. Like there's two groups.
It's
and
called
fight
Spider-Wars.
Yeah. Right. So I think that's a possibility, but like other than that, I don't think we see a Spider-Verse in the MCU. Like I can't see it happening. Honestly.
I'm just saying like because they have. That's what I instantly just a second ago started looking at like contract details to see if Toby had been like offered a new contract with anything or anything.
So
also, everyone hates Toby.
That's what I was gonna get to. That's what I was gonna get to. So Shaq,
not as Spider-Man, but as an actor, everyone hates to deal with Toby.
Shaq and Adam are like under the impression they think that like Toby is the best Spider-Man.
Toby is the best Spider-Man.
He's not the
best.
I
really like Tom Holland. I just have like a
let me put this in
for
perfect terms
Toby.
for y'all. Tobey Maguire plays a really good Peter Parker, but not really good Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield plays Andrew Garfield plays a good Spider-Man, but he's not a good Peter Parker. And Tom Holland plays a really good Peter Parker and a really good Spider-Man. Like Andrew Garfield's like too cool to be that nerdy Peter Parker, and Tobey Maguire is like nerdy enough to be, Peter Parker, but like his Spider-Man's like, nah. It's like good, but it's not as good as Tom Holland. Tom Holland's like quirky. He like feels like that, nerd in the comics that like got bullied, and then all of a sudden gets his powers.
I just feel like that could be, like spun to where they could somehow connect them.
I
feel like they could do it. I really feel like they could do it.
You got to give up on this Spider-Verse theory, bro.
They could do it, but they wouldn't.
Nobody wants that. Yeah, nobody is fiending for Tobey Maguire to come back into the MCU, bro. Like nobody wants that.
You can get the feeling that Marvel knows that Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man they've ever had. Anybody has ever done.
Right. The way they put him on the forefront in terms of media, bro, like they know. They know Tom Holland loves him. Yeah.
So one of the things I've heard recently is that like Tom Holland said he's open to doing like 20 more Spider-Man movies if people want him to. And I feel like the way it's been going so far,
you know how much he's getting paid.
Well,
that's true. That's true.
I don't think I've seen a negative reaction to any of the movies he's been in. Like his performance has always been great. I don't think he's really had a bad performance.
He's really good. Sometimes to me, he seems like too childish, kind of like he.
That's what Peter Parker is, though.
But yeah, he is a kid. He's still a kid. So.
He's supposed to be a high schooler, he's
in high
super
school.
smart, but he's like socially awkward, doesn't understand.
Yeah, but like when you're a high schooler that comes like you all of a sudden have superpowers one day, like you're not gonna.
But if that's the character he's supposed to be portraying, then he's doing a good job.
Yeah,
exactly.
I just don't like that part about the character, not necessarily Tom Holland.
I want to see him in other. I know he got a couple more movies coming out.
He's gonna be in that Thomas Edison movie. There's another movie.
I went to go see the new Toy Story with Katie, and like I remember.
Oh, don't spoil that.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but like literally we saw like at least 3 trailers. Tom Holland was in the movie. Like there was like 2 animated movies, and there was one like real life.
He's gonna be a huge actor. For
sure. Dude, that dude is making bank right now, bro. Like, jeez, dude.
I think it could be spun to where it happens.
Nobody wants that, so I don't think.
Why are you still talking about that?
Yeah, I think like a brief cameo maybe would like get people like happy just because like, oh look, our childhood like Spider-Man, but nobody wants him to be involved.
Yeah, like
in
him
MCU.
Just walking the street handing out a newspaper
or delivering pizza or something. Like people would like people would go
pizza time
that.
reference would be
it'd be cool if he was like taking a picture of Spider-Man. That'd be pretty fun.
I honestly think it could be done like that, or I think they could. I don't know how many of y'all. I think it was one of the X-Men movies, maybe.
Which one? Okay. Continue.
I don't remember. It might have been. I think it might have been one of the X-Men movies where, like maybe Tom Holland, like in dealing with this, like reporter, or in dealing, say, like, have they, like, do y'all have any idea who the villain's going to be for the next one? Like,
there's so many theories.
In the next, like, Spider-Man, like, you
know.
So
I've seen Kraven.
Kraven the Hunter or the Sinister Six in some form or fashion.
So see, there was a hint of Sinister Six then in the
not
Spider-Man.
Well,
sure,
kind of.
All right, bet.
Kind of.
Anyway,
I love the
so,
Sinister
like,
Six, bro.
anyway, like, the way I'm seeing it is, like, what if, like, he ends up needing, like, in one of the Marvel Captain America movies, one of the Captain America movies, or Batman or something. I don't know. It was a movie
where
said
Batman.
Batman's not even.
I said like 3 different movie series.
No, actually, no. Okay, it came to mind now that I'm saying this. It was Superman. It was Superman. Superman went and, like, you know, he was seeking out information about, like, something. And the person that he went to seek out information, like one of the professor guys, was the old Superman in the chair. Like, in the...
Okay.
Right,
yeah.
but that's like... But you're...
Yeah.
That's a cameo. That's
a cameo. What we're not saying...
Like,
he's like Tobey Maguire isn't
gonna
gonna be...
Tobey to have an actual part of a movie.
Right. Like, I wouldn't doubt it. I would not put it past Marvel at all to give him a cameo. Like, I would like that. Because, like, as much as I say, like, Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man, I'm not saying that. I think...
It'd still be a nod back to our...
Right, our childhood.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I think we all have a special place, like, for Tobey, because he was, like, our introduction into Spider-Man, like, as far as, like, a live action setting.
Yeah,
but,
I think he could come in as, like, a teacher or some sort, like a teacher to him about some sort of something.
It's just like our kids, like, I guess not our kids, but the kids that are, like, young right now are always gonna remember Tom Holland as their Spider-Man. So, like, decades from now, like, if they introduce a new person as Spider-Man, the kids are gonna be like, oh, well, a new Spider-Man. Like, I don't know. That's how it was when Andrew Garfield came out, and I was like, bro, there's no way I'm watching this.
I liked Andrew better than
I still haven't watched that Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie. I feel like after everything I've heard about it, I thought it did a shame to it, and I'm not even giving it the glory to watch it.
I don't think it's a shame.
I
think what I really enjoyed about those two movies was the connection between him and Jane. Like, aside from that, they're
Yeah. I don't think they're as bad as a lot of people say, but I definitely think they're, like, the lowest when it comes to Spider-Man movies.
That's why I think he could come in as like a mentor. For, like, not have like a big role, but have something like.
No.
I mean, why do you like? Can we move on? Like, it's just a no.
It's a no.
He's gonna cameo at most.
I think Marvel got to start phasing out the rest of their Phase 4. I don't think Spider-Man. I mean, they just did Spider-Man, so they're not, like, super worried or on shot clock to put out another Spider-Man movie anytime soon. Right?
Oh no, it's not coming out till 2021. No. Spider-Man's have been the only Marvel movies that have consistently come out every 2 years. So, like, the last one before this one was 2017.
Wasn't Captain America like that?
No, Captain America was not consistent.
It was like 2 years and then 3 years.
Right. Yeah. So I think the next one will be 2021 probably. Hopefully. I guess we can move on to the Q&A portion.
Hang on.
Wait, no. I had one more question actually about that.
I swear, if it's another thing about Tobey Maguire, I'll smack you.
Yeah, don't.
It's not. So, well, dang, I can't say that. It was full of scene.
Anyways, who do y'all want to be, like, the next, like, Phase 4, like, huge bad guy that has to bring the Avengers back together?
Huge bad guy.
I want it to be Galactus. I want it to be Galactus so bad.
There's no other possible, like, with the amount of power they're gonna probably drag out from all the superheroes. It's not gonna make sense for any other person than Galactus to be the new.
I mean, it could be
anybody, though.
It could be Norman. Not in an aspect of Norman, like, it could be Doctor Doom. They can introduce Doctor Doom now.
It could be Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom would be dope.
I think the one thing we have to factor in here, though, is that now that Marvel owns 21st Century Fox, they have Fantastic Four. They have
that's
right.
Fantastic Four.
That's what I was about to say. No, Fantastic Four has already been slated. They're fixing to remake the movies.
No.
I think a good Fantastic Four movie would be fine.
He said they're fixing to remake the movie.
Like, I think they have one more shot.
There's fixing to be a new Fantastic Four come out. It's already been slated.
Yeah, they have to introduce it. And
slated or fixing one more time.
Like,
it has to.
And if you watch there's a big hint at it, a ginormous hint at it in the second scene.
There's like
you gotta watch.
And for Fantastic Four.
Yes.
No, there isn't.
No, there's not.
Okay.
Shaq, they legally couldn't have. When Far From Home was filmed, they didn't actually own 21st Century Fox yet, so they can't make any allusion to it whatsoever because that would violate the contract. Because there was rumors that they were going to do something like that in Endgame, but they can't because they didn't own it at that point.
I don't know. I'm just
the Fantastic Four was who I was expecting.
My thing is like based on the Fantastic Four movie coming out, like I was thinking, okay, if they introduce the Silver Surfer, then surely it has to be Galactus. But my thing is, I'm sure Marvel doesn't want to end with Phase 4. So like if you do end up like using Galactus for Phase 4, what comes after that? Like Galactus is like
Kang the Conqueror.
I think they would do Kang first then. Do Kang first and then Galactus.
Yeah, I feel like Kang is a lesser villain than Galactus, but I also feel like they're both incredibly terrifying.
I think that like Thanos in the comics is arguably bigger than Kane.
Really?
Yeah. Like hand-to-hand combat, he beat. Galactus barely beat Thanos.
I think this entire conversation proves that none of us know what Marvel's actually going to do, which is a really good thing because I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Marvel villains.
All right, John, I really want to talk to you about the second end credit scene when we're not talking about when we're not with everybody.
All right, moving on.
On to the Q&A.
Yeah.
First question comes from Morgan. She says, if you weren't in college, where would you see yourself right now?
I was not in college.
I'd
probably be a day trader or, I don't know, grinding out, living on a beach, like a shack in Hawaii.
Yeah,
like dead ass. I'd be like a surfer bum, probably.
So I'd probably still be in my job at St. Jude right now, and I'd probably be like living on my own somewhere, like probably in the Memphis area or like in the suburbs of Memphis. But I would definitely be like grinding out like content, like trying to like make content creation like a full-time job at that point. I feel like that would definitely be my route.
I would have moved back with my family in New York and pursue my dreams of filming, like just without a college degree, just
personally,
professional bowler.
I would be if I wasn't in college right now. I would be bowling a lot more.
Really?
Like, because I left a lot of bowling stuff coming to like do.
Okay, my question to you then is like, is there a way of entry like without going to college, like into the PBA?
The PBA, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
I could have got my pro card when I graduated high school. I had a high enough average to do it. You just got to have a high enough average to do it, and have bowled 200 games in sanctioned tournaments.
Oh, okay.
You had to average a 200 bowling 200 games in sanctioned tournaments, and I had a 217 average when I graduated.
What about you, J Pro?
I'm telling you, bro. Jack was a whole pro.
Come back to me. I don't know.
Dang, bro. That man really didn't have no plan.
Put it this way.
I'm kind of with John on this one.
College is like the only thing I ever really
hard. Yeah, it's hard for me to answer too, because like since I was born, like I knew I was going to college.
Same, like that's the same with me. Like my parents were like, college is an option. Like you're going. So
for me, because like my plan is like get my undergrad in computer science, go to law school, and then work for like a law firm for a couple of years, and then try to work my way into like a policy advisor role, like for the federal government. Like that's like realistically where I want to be. So I don't know as of right now.
Because Justin, I bowled sanctioned leagues outside of high school leagues as well. So
all right.
I had the games.
Next question.
College.
College. You said college was like a mandatory thing for you too.
Yeah, I mean, it was for me. That's why I said I don't even know what to do.
I think that's like a common thing, like with our age group. Like I think our parents,
you kind of have to, bro.
Yeah, I think.
Really?
I feel like we just grew up in an era where it's just expected you go to college. Like, what do you do after high school?
I wouldn't even say that. Not with my not where I'm from.
We're in Mississippi. Yeah, you're from Alabama.
If you're from a city or a suburb, that's how it is.
Yeah.
I think we had 3 people out of my entire graduating class that actually went to like university.
How big is your graduating class?
You're from Alabama.
We had 69, 70 people.
70 people. No, bro. I had like
another representation. You're from Alabama.
Still, what I'm saying is, it's because like nobody's. It's like literally the high school I came from. we have a good like tech school, so like everybody just goes through the tech stuff in high school, and then they go like get a little plant welding job in the town or like in a neighboring town. Like nobody,
right? That's just like a demographic thing.
Yeah,
you become a master welder. That's good money, bro.
Yeah, like that's what my brother.
That would be an option if I didn't go to college. Is like a trade.
Yeah,
trade
like
that's
what my brother's doing right now. Like my brother went through the tech school, and instead of going to college, he's doing like a 5-month tech program to do underwater welding right now. Okay. It's not like college, but it's like a program.
A trade school.
Yeah.
I would probably work with my dad. My dad, he's a mechanical engineer, so I'd probably like go to like some sort of community college or something like that and work under him.
Yeah, I mean, like high-end welding jobs, that's still 6 figures.
Yeah, that's really good money.
Yeah. My brother, like, he didn't even finish high school. And he like knows people in like air conditioning, and he made 6 figures at a point. Didn't even graduate high school.
That's why I know. That's what my brother. That's why my brother went to underwater welding, because like where he goes, it's the majority of them get a 6-figure contract when they graduate. In underwater welding.
The only problem, you're like not moving anywhere really.
I know.
Like you stay.
No, you can live basically wherever. You just have to be.
No, I'm not saying like. I meant like climbing a ladder.
Yeah.
Her next question: if you weren't introduced to / interested in video games, what do you think you'd be doing as a hobby instead?
Well,
I'll probably
slang and post.
Photography.
I probably would have never stopped playing baseball, or I probably would have never stopped doing band either. So I probably would like really be hitting music like really heavy in terms of like my band stuff, and possibly still baseball, but we'll see. I don't know.
I mean, if I didn't get injured, I wouldn't have played esports. I was gonna play soccer in college, but my body said no. So I picked up esports during physical therapy, and ever since then it's been esports.
Bowling.
I would and I would
should go back to bowling.
I still bowl. I just don't bowl as much. But see, the thing is, I bowled so much, like I can, like I'm still like good at it, but I don't enjoy it as much as like playing with my friends, because I didn't have a lot of friends that bowled. I knew like 3 people that I bowled with, and that was about like other than like the league people, that was all these like old men.
Yeah.
So like I didn't have a lot of like friends bowling. So.
What about you, J Pro?
Probably photography.
That's a good one. Bro, low key, I've always like wished that I was good at that kind of stuff, because if you're a photographer in college, bro, you can make bank on like as a side hustle, bro.
All those basic girls,
they make
pictures,
bank, bro.
Good money.
Yeah, they make bank doing that stuff.
So like doing LinkedIn pictures and stuff like
yes,
that.
Bro.
What actually got me into photography is what you're seeing like behind me is the background. I chose astrophotography. I love astrophotography. It's always something I wanted to do, and I've just never really done it. Even with the camera I have now, it's like not a bad camera, but to get like really good quality like astrophotography pictures is just so hard. And then learning, Lightroom, the Adobe software for editing photos, like what you have to do to make, astrophotography pictures like look nice. It's just a whole curve that
it's a huge.
If I had more time to work on that, I would 100% be doing that. But I just don't have the time.
What about you, Adam?
You already said it, bro.
Oh yeah.
On a real note, I'd probably just like focus on computer science more and like invest more time into side projects. Other than that, I don't know. I don't really have like other hobbies, to be honest. I'd go out a lot more. That's for sure.
No, me too.
100%. Yeah, I'd have a.
I'd be going out all the time.
I'd probably be a way better boyfriend too, to be honest with you.
Adam more often.
Yo, Morgan's mad at me right now.
I'd probably be a way better boyfriend. Keep it a buck, bro.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Next question comes from Goat Tunes. He asks, "Do you have anything to say to all the new teams who are coming into the CCL all cocky?"
Oh, can I start this one?
Go for it, John.
Put your head down and grind, right? All these players that are playing 10s, like they're picking players that they know are good. And if you come in just talking trash, Shaq, you're not allowed to make that joke. You're the one that said C8.
Shaq's up.
Thank you, Adam. But just put your head down and grind, right? If you're talking trash, nobody's gonna want to really play with you that much. Like like if you're already in that group talking trash, that's totally different. Put your head down and grind, make a name for yourself, just come out and show that you have the ability to play and then execute, right? Put in time with your team, make sure your team chemistry is there, make sure your individual performance is there. You're not going to get anywhere just by talking big, right? It's all about the action. If your action isn't there, no one's going to care. For the new teams coming in, just got to grind.
I guess I would say if you're coming into the Discord and like immediately talking shit, like the most respected players.
I was gonna comment on that.
The most respected players in our league are the players that like put their head down, like J Pro said, and come in and just like smoke everybody. Like you don't have to put on this persona of like, oh, like I'm better than you, like, and that's just how it is because I'm a Masters League player and I got a scholarship. I'm this amazing COD player. Like just go out and show it, bro. Like. Like the CCL is like a family and it can benefit you like as an individual, like with your branding. But if you burn bridges and make it to where people don't want to associate with you, you're not going to be able to reap the benefits for being a part of something that's so like lucrative in terms of like family feel. So that's what I have to say.
Like don't ego people. Like everybody just seems like we need to ego everybody else. Like don't ego them because like you never know, in like 2 months, 12 months, 24 months, like down the line when like, oh, that bridge is really important, right? Like, regardless of what it is, but like egoing people doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't earn anybody's respect.
It's hard to criticize those people just because like the whole community is like that in general.
Right.
So like that's probably like what they came up as, like playing in like the community. But like,
I mean,
just prove yourself before you talk shit. Like if people are actually like really good and they're talking shit, like I'm all for it. Like you deserve it. But if you're like really never played in a match before, why are you talking shit? It's just
I mean, it's different for us because we've been around the entire time. So like we lay low and just chill with the people we know because we're all friends now. But I do understand like where the new people are I'm never like a big shit talker, but like if I'm coming in to a group that's like already solidified, everyone knows everyone for the most part. I'm gonna feel left out.
It's a bad look if you.
Oh, what's Justin doing, bro?
I got something to say at the end of this.
Go ahead.
No, I was just like saying, like as Adam said, it's part of the community, so it's hard for, especially if you're like a AM player, it's hard to come in the CCL and change your entire mindset if you're a brand new kid. Because it is a completely different mindset.
And
I
guess I just think like when you join the CCL, you have to realize that like you're joining something like where we're competing against each other, but at the end of the day, we all have like one common goal, and that's to like grow the league, that's to grow collegiate esports and like put it on a map, especially from a Call of Duty perspective. Because before like 2 years ago, I guess we didn't have any representation for Call of Duty in collegiate esports. So like we're all still like under the same like goal to try to push it and try to make it bigger. And like you being toxic and trying to like start shit in a Discord server where people like have that same goal as you, like it isn't gonna help. So it's like there's a difference between like constructive, like competitive trash talk that starts storylines versus like you go on in Discord and call somebody a fat idiot. Like that's not what we're about.
It's just useless.
Actually, so I've had this conversation with Marco. We talk about this every day. I honestly, the CCL has more eyes on it now than it ever has before. And when people join the Discord and they see, like you said, calling them a fat idiot or saying something else, just like bad Discord etiquette, bad just like social etiquette to begin with, that doesn't reflect well not only on yourself or in your esports org, but on the CCL, right? If we're really expecting the CCL to take off, we're really expecting people to take us seriously, we need to act professionally as well. And that's something I got to say to everybody that's in the court. Everybody just needs to take a step back and realize that fun and banter, can still exist, but like at the end of the day, we're trying to make this something out of nothing. And I'd say so far we've done a pretty good job, but we jeopardize it every single day by, just making ourselves seem not professional. And that just pushes us farther and farther down. Like who wants to work with somebody that isn't professional and, just looks bad in general.
Right. But on top of that, it's not just like our server or Call of Duty in general, like the esports for college and like even at the professional level, media wise, it's extremely unprofessional. People like even at like Riot Games, they're being sued for being sexist in the workplace. Like it's just it's just a weird environment.
I guess like so we should try to mirror like the popularity and like the formatting. I think the goal is to like be as respected as like traditional sports are, and I feel like that's something that's going to keep esports from doing that, is having environments like that where people are like as professional and like the shit talk gets past like past the game itself. And I think that's something the CCL, at least the players, something we really have to be cautious of going into this next season.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He had another question. Right. He had another question.
Can I say one thing quick before we move on?
Yeah, what's up?
The previous question is said for like all the new teams. I got something I want to say to the existing teams. Like with new players coming in, like we need you guys to be welcoming to them. You know, like some of them aren't going to be trash talk, or some of them legitimately just want to play, and like giving them a chance, making them feel welcome is going to help to grow the CCL community more than anything else. Because if somebody joins and they're really interested in playing and then instantly just get shut down because somebody says something bad about somebody they don't even know, like they're going to leave so quick.
Yeah.
Like, in order for us to grow, we have to be, you know, a family with open arms, welcoming people. Because the Call of Duty community isn't the largest community out there. What we do have is you know, a good sense of community, and we destroy that by just turning people away.
Right, and why not? Like, we all know that like COD's like a really toxic community, especially on the AM scene. So like, why not try to be like a beacon of light within that, and be like, oh, like these CCL kids are like weird. Like I joined and they were like all nice. Like what in the world? Like,
exactly.
That's a really really good look.
Exactly.
Go to's next question. Who would be the villains and heroes of the CCL? I think right now Davenport's a villain, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that like everybody. Yeah, I feel like everybody wants to take them down at this point.
I think
they're getting money where nowhere else is.
Right.
I think Emerald was probably the bad guy during the regular season because they hadn't lost.
Yeah, I think they were too, and they were so vocal about it. They were so vocal about it.
Yeah, they were real. Combine those and
I
mean, wait, who are the heroes then? Probably
Ole Miss. Ole Miss were the heroes towards the end. Yeah. Bro,
I didn't. Toronto at times.
Toronto, no.
I'd argue they were villains.
Yeah, they were.
Tooney, they were
so scumbags,
toxic,
bro. No, I'll tell you. At first, I think they were heroes, but during their playoff run, when they started doing the thing where they didn't want a neutral host, they became villains. Everybody was rooting against Toronto after they did that. Like when they did that to us, everybody was like, "Oh, this team is full of scumbags. Like we don't want to mess with them anymore."
That's what villains. Yeah, GCU, same they host.
I'm trying to think another. I guess like other heroes. I think South Carolina made themselves heroes. I think they won a lot of people over. But they started doing the hosting.
They had a very bad.
I don't think so.
And
I think
South
Carolina.
Yeah, they started doing the hosting.
I think everybody did though. So
I think South Carolina ruined their names when they got destroyed online, and then managed to beat people online.
They were liners.
Yeah.
I can't really think of any other teams that were just like really like just heroic, I guess. But like I didn't realize like how many people we had like pulling for us until I rewatched like the grand finals VOD, and people were like really wanting us to pull off that
the game 5.
It's probably you because you guys went so far and like none of your teammates are like weird.
Yeah.
Like, have a bad rep.
Well,
I wouldn't say anyone's like heroic.
Sam, I guess.
Sam's the one.
But we like
Sam
we
wasn't
sure
that bad. Though.
Right. Yeah. Well, during our playoff run, like I made sure to tell them like we don't need to be like doing all this. Let's just focus on our game, scrim, and like we're not gonna join like the Emerald wave of like talking all this shit, and then like we're just gonna focus on us. And I think that really helped us a lot. I think a lot of teams started to respect us a little more because of that. Let's see. Marco asked, well, this is an anime question. A lot of us don't watch anime, so I'm gonna ask that. CCL Avengers, is it a thing? I think it is, bro. Like
CCL
Avengers?
What?
Like when, so I guess he means
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like the other night when like the Davenport kids.
Yeah. Because remember that kid? I forgot who that kid was, but Poner and somebody else shut him up real quick. He came and joined and was like, all these kids suck. And Poner was like, all right, send a 2v2 child. No, it wasn't flanked. It was like
he was talking mad shit too.
No, it was a guy that like wanted to child everybody, and Poner and somebody like childed him, and like they beat him twice, and he like left the Discord. Like, we have not seen this dude since. and I can't remember the guy's
Talking
name.
about a while ago.
Yeah, you remember what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
I cannot think of the dude's name.
He tried to get me to chow with him. Yeah,
Roger challenged him too.
Yeah.
Roger,
he lost
Roger
both.
played him with Shred and almost beat him. I remember that.
No, he did win.
Yeah, he won.
Oh, he won with Shred.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So to answer the question, yes, the CCL Avengers like do exist. We kind of already hinted it earlier, but like the CCL community is just like one big family. And you know, I'm gonna quote a scene from Spiderman 1 where they're like Green Goblin's holding Mary Jane over the bridge and like that like train car full of kids or whatever, and the guy on the bridge is like, "You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us." Yeah. That's kind of how the CCL is. Like, it's even if somebody messes with Shaq,
gassing it a little bit.
I don't think
I don't consider someone the Avenger of the CCL because they 2v2 challenged some random kid online.
But I feel like, there's like a group of people that like when they come in there, people are like, okay, well if you say we suck, you need to play this person. Like Poner's one of those people.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't put as much weight on like a 2v2 child to prove a league's worth.
Yeah, that was just like a specific example.
Poner's a top player in the league.
Yeah.
He's not an average player in the league.
Right.
And
I mean still. But
no, on top of that, I just don't understand how people keep tracking the CCL general chat. Like I'm lost every time.
I'm never really in that corner.
Like the fact that people go read trash talk in general chat every day, like I respect to them.
I get notifications
I have it
from
muted.
everything.
I have it muted.
Every channel in the CCL, I get a notification when something gets
Dude, I don't know how you do
grinder, bro.
So
that's what. There's only one Discord though that I don't have it like that. Like I get a lot of Discord notifications.
I guess my question is like, why do y'all think the CCL garners like so much of that like negative? Because like I've watched like other amateur leagues and like just to see, and there's not many people in the chat that come in the chat and just say these kids suck. I could come in and smoke this shit.
Because it's not an AM league; it's a college league.
I guess I think a lot of it honestly is jealousy, bro. Like people see us like representing our schools, they're like, oh, these kids, they're college like players. Like, I could.
They're not an AM team, so they're gonna be terrible.
Right. And I don't know, bro. That's just always been so weird to me.
We do a pickup squad and then get T6 with no practice against randos. It was hilarious.
And then, but then it's like, at that point. But at that point, like when people come in and talk like that, it's just like, and it's every single stream, bro. Like every CCO stream, I go in the chat, there's at least like 3 people, bro. But that's what I'm saying. Like I watch like AGN leagues and stuff, and like there might be a few people, but it's definitely not as consistent as when like the CCO streams. And I just don't I don't understand it. Like, kids are weird.
Well, I mean, we have a good thing going, and like on the COD scene, that's like a very rare thing.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of it is like jealousy.
The COD community in general has been like, or normally is pretty negative about things, and so.
Right. I mean, until people see college as a feeder to pros, they're just gonna think, this is just like a side gig. No one's as good as the AMs.
Right. Yeah. Stints as if the 10s tourney teams are out, who do you have winning?
Our team's comedy gold. We're probably not winning, bro. But like, I'm gonna love every.
Bro, I think people are asleep on our team, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, I don't think you understand. I'm like still at 75% of my skill level from China. Like,
listen,
China's
bro.
just trash thumbs, bro.
So I think Adam's team was slacky. I think they're pretty good.
Obviously.
I don't know about Dewey. I haven't seen Dewey play.
Yo, hang on. Zach just got benched.
Zach who?
For you?
No. For music, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly, there was a trade down because it's got Zach as a sub now.
Who's Zach?
Rip?
Yeah. He wasn't even on the draft list.
Yeah, he just got thrown on.
No, nobody got benched. Matt and them just didn't have a sub, so now they have a sub. Nobody got benched.
They moved. No, but they had Zach playing, and now Zach is not playing.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
He wasn't drafted.
He wasn't drafted. Goofy.
Added after the draft.
Oh, well, it had him in the round 4 earlier, like because I had the old one right here. I had the old form up, and then I refreshed it, and now he's a sub. He wasn't a sub to start with.
Anyways, I do think people are asleep on Kush Point's team. I think Kush Point's team looks really good.
Who's on Kush Point's team?
Zolti, Nakama, Zolty,
Oh, yeah,
Nakama,
that's a
J
good
Money, Crozier. I think
They have a
that's
good
pretty
three, but J Money and Crozier
Yeah,
aren't
yeah.
the best. I don't
Just
think.
as long if they
If they show
I'm not saying
up.
on J Money's host. No,
combo's
if J
really
Money's
good.
hosting, bro, that's a free win for their
But see,
team.
like every team has like that 3, and then like the 2 that
Yeah.
like if they hold their own, like they're gonna be good. And I think that's
true.
why I think y'all are gonna be good, Adam, because I think people sleep on Mammoth because he was on
Apparently, he's
Eastern New
getting smoked
Mexico.
today.
Yeah,
Everybody's a bad
Look,
day.
I'm telling you,
I know,
I
Mammoth
just
is good.
played
Mammoth is good.
tens with
Yeah,
Mammoth.
he's good, bro.
and
I've
he
never
only
played
had-
with him either.
He's
Listen,
good.
I honestly
I've
don't
been-
know how good my team is.
I've been playing
That's
tens with
happened.
Mammoth the past 2 days, and he's outplaced me twice.
I think
I'm just saying
y'all's
that.
y'all's
Jack-
X Factor, Adam, is
Jack,
gonna
you
be
play-
Benji.
You bait your
Benji.
team,
Yeah,
and then you get assists. So just relax.
I think, but yeah, I think our team. I think
We'll be
if,
okay. I think we can like place top 3 at least.
I think if
I think our team is
Ricky,
good, Poner's team is good, and Tweak's team is good.
uh,
Or not Tweak.
Kish point?
I don't know. I've heard that Wi-Fi is actually really decent now.
Hmm.
Like, there people was talking crap about him in the chat,
Yeah,
but
Tweak's team is
they
good.
just played some tens. No, like
The Air
no,
Core
like,
3 is nasty.
he had people like talking crap about him in the
Who's
chat
on
about like going 3-20 and all this shit consistently in league, but then they was just in there playing tens, and like I got a message from State saying he's probably better than all of us playing. So I don't know.
I think if Swift has like if Swift plays good, I think we're gonna be fine, Jack. I think people are asleep on us, bro.
I think
He's
you're-
actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Like he can do his job on the map.
I'm not saying he's not good.
Ricky's
I'm
an X
saying
Factor.
I do not trust what I can do yet. Like, I'm
bro,
not
you're gonna
back
be
to where I
fine.
was.
As long as me, you, and Ricky do our job, bro, we're gonna be fine. I don't
Alright,
trust
am I allowed to
Ricky.
run a Maddox, though?
Yeah, you can run
Alright,
Maddox.
thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
because that's why I picked up
State's an
state
ICR.
to ICR. Yeah,
Y'all
that-
surprised so many people when you surprised so many people when you got Ricky second round.
bro. There was
Bro.
literally I wasn't
As
getting
long as
Roger.
he's not running a
Momentous was
Sog, I'll
picked
be
before
fine.
Ricky.
Oh, okay, yeah. I wasn't
And
picking.
dude, Roger got smoked first round in the AGM.
Benji's good, but Benji's really inconsistent. And then who else was
Like,
left?
I'm pretty sure on the mock draft they thought they figured you would get Nick.
See, Nick is like, I love Nick to death, bro. But Nick loses full so quick.
Yeah, if he yells in my
That's
ear
my
so
problem.
much, I
Yeah.
just wanna- ooh.
He
His-
plays a Sog role, but like he's a baiter Sog.
Yeah,
Which
he
is, like, not good.
he doesn't do what I need him to do, and I already had like 2 aggressive players in me and Jack, so it's like I don't need another like person.
Whoa,
just...
Jack's not aggressive.
Jack's a baiter, but like he'll still if you bait for
He'll
Jack,
get your
he'll get your
trade.
trade.
Like,
Yeah.
Jack will get your trade.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and I don't trust Nick to do that. And
Ricky
if-
can play quick.
Yeah,
Ricky's
and
quick.
that's what I'm saying.
Ricky's
and then,
too
like,
quick sometimes though.
See, here's
Yeah.
the thing. I play aggressive with
So are
I
you,
play
though.
more aggressive with an ICR than a Maddox if I'm thinking about it,
Right.
which is weird.
and I feel like us 3 versus us.
I mean, we played with each other forever. So
Exactly.
You guys will,
right.
If Swift can pull like a 1.0, you guys will be pretty good.
Right, and then what I was saying was like me, Jack, and Ricky versus me, Jack, and Nick. I think me, Jack, and Ricky have a lot more chemistry than.
Yeah, because we're not gonna lose full after losing 2
Right.
gunfights.
We'll just literally just laugh it off and like be like, oh, we got smoked. So.
Like, yeah, like you get smoked, I'll be like, damn, Sergio, you just got smoked.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think Adam's team has a chance of winning it. I think Push Point's team looks really good. Poner's team actually looks. I think a lot of people slept on Dan. I think people forget how good Dan was on
Dan's
ICR.
good.
Yeah, so
That's good.
I don't know if he's been playing though.
nah, he hasn't been playing, so it just depends on how he comes back. I think Wes's team looks.
Who's on Wes's team?
Wes's team was a lot
Wes's
better
team is
before
trash.
Gentry traded Ivan.
Why are you
Or traded
yelling?
for Ivan?
Why are you yelling?
I actually don't know Gentry's team besides West, so I can't really say. but-
Gentry.
Ivan's pretty good.
I think
I don't know
I'll-
Choppa's. I know.
I really
Dick
want to
Lick.
play Gentry, bro.
I want to
really
play
wanna
Gentry.
Gentry.
I want to play.
honest-
No, bro. Mensa was talking so much stuff to us earlier, Jack. I want to play him so bad, bro.
Hey, does he get tilted if you shoot bodies?
Huh? Yeah,
Does
he
he
gets
get
real
tilted?
tilted.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
I
gets tilted.
bet.
I want to play him so
Yeah.
bad. And then Momentous is on his team too, so I really want to play
Oh,
Roger.
well, I mean, yeah, that's just AGN qual flashbacks. He's gonna.
Oh, Nick's on that team. The Wake Jumpers on that team, bro. Bro, I want to play them so bad.
Bro, that's gonna be
I wanna play them so
hilarious.
bad, bro.
I
Bro,
hope I
Ro-
get to play against y'all. I hope he's
Roger got 3-0'd twice in the 18 qualifier against
Yeah,
us.
that's
Yeah, that's tough, bro. 2 different squads too. Ain't that
Yeah.
something? All right. Oh
Big yikes for
shoot.
me, dog. And he still called us shitters. That's crazy.
That's the crazy part, bro.
I honestly liked Gentry's team before he traded and got Ivan, because originally he didn't have Ivan.
What do you have on that?
Who was on his team before Ivan?
Ivan's really good though. Ivan's really good.
Ivan's good.
Yeah.
What's Ivan's like username?
Ivan R.
Just Ivan.
It's like Ivan R.
I don't know who he is.
He came in.
I realized when I was watching the draft, like I don't know like 2/3 of these people.
Yeah, most of especially like the later picks, bro. I was like, who in God's Scheming? Apparently, the Scheming guy, the sub for y'all's team goes to Ole Miss. I've never talked to this kid in my entire life, bro.
Yeah. He's actually not bad.
I've never talked to him, dude. We'll move on to Casey.
He's an ICR player too, so.
Casey's questions, he has a lot, so I'm just gonna choose 2 of them. Let's see.
Casey had some whack questions too. I saw that.
Bro, I love Casey.
Yeah, I don't know about these questions, Casey. These might be chalked.
Yeah, these questions were.
Actually,
I think the last one was good, if I remember.
Actually, this one's this one's pretty good. If you could have an adult star on the podcast, what questions would you ask her? Like a porn star, bro. I would ask.
I mean,
how to.
I don't know why I didn't say porn star. What are we keeping this rated, bro?
I would ask how do you manage like relationships? Like how okay, when it comes to marriage, like what are your opinions on marriage? Like, are you still gonna have your career when you're married? Or are you gonna when you get married, are you gonna be like just like exclusive to your partner? Like I don't know.
I watched the documentary on this.
Is it like
a lot of people made like solo stuff?
Is it less enjoyable when you like meet someone you actually like?
Listen, I feel like there was a documentary on this on Netflix. Like I'm not even playing.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past you to watch porn documentaries.
No, I'm saying I'm pretty sure there's a
there actually is.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but yeah.
And then they ask like these kind of questions.
Yeah.
I might have to watch that then. Because I'm genuinely curious. Like,
it's called Hot Girls Wanted or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't be impossible though to find somebody that was comfortable with.
Oh yeah.
I've watched a podcast that had a porn star on it.
Oh, I mean, what's his face? You guys know David Dobrik?
Oh, is he like an agent?
Yeah, one of his friends is like dating a porn star.
I mean,
the question is, could you date a porn?
Personally,
I can't, bro.
I couldn't.
Bro, there's no way.
I could watch some big ass dude.
I would feel,
bro. There's literally no way. Like I can know my girlfriend just took a load on her face, and she like comes in and tries to kiss me. I'm like, man, get your like I can't, bro. Like I couldn't do it, bro. There's no way.
Hell no.
But I mean, some people, bro.
Yeah, John's so
uncomfortable.
Hey, bro. Some people might be built for that life, bro. Like, and if you are, like, kudos to you, bro. Because I could not. Like, I'm not confident enough in myself to do that.
I think it would have to be, if you dated one, it would have to be somebody who was like comfortable with like an open relationship, you know?
Yeah. Next question comes from @Keenan_. Stranger Things 3 thoughts. Have y'all watched it yet?
Oh yeah, season 3 was good.
Okay. Wait. I have one stipulation. Do not spoil the last episode because I haven't watched the last episode yet.
I'll close my mouth. Don't worry. It's just good. It's a lot better than season 2.
Yes.
Sure.
So far,
I'm only on 2 episodes.
I've not seen a single episode of any Stranger Things.
Same.
Right.
Really? Oh, J-Pro, you would like it. 100% you would like it, bro.
I watched like one. I watched like half of the first episode of the first season. I just wasn't interested and moved on.
But
when I say that about Daredevil, then you said I can't do that.
I've seen every Daredevil episode. Like I've seen.
I don't like Daredevil.
I love Daredevil.
We'll see, Serge. I'll talk about it.
You need to watch it, bro. But yeah, so far I've really enjoyed season 3. Like I think
if you have nothing
really
else
good.
to watch, you might as well.
Yeah. I think it's really good. Like everybody I've talked to has about the last episode of the season and said they cried. So I'm a little worried about watching the last episode, bro.
I mean, listen, I'm not an emotional person. But I could see why.
I am, bro, because like I'm not. It's funny because like I don't cry over like real life stuff. Like somebody in my family dies,
does,
like
you just laugh now.
So somebody in my family dies, like I'm chilling, but like somebody dies in a movie or a show, something, bro. I like.
God forbid a dog dies, or
bro,
like Captain Rex from Star Wars, Clone Wars,
bro.
Come
on, and bro. Endgame, when Iron Man's light went out, bro. I was in the theater. I was in there going, bro.
Y'all call me a hater, but I didn't cry when Iron Man died.
But you said you cried when Black Widow died.
Here's the thing, that was
Shark.
Whoa. Here's the thing. I just don't think I have tear ducts.
Really? Nothing makes you cry, bro.
Like I feel it,
Mm-hmm.
but no water comes from the eyes. It's weird.
Maybe.
Have a doctor check that.
Yeah, just because it was spoiled before I went to see the movie.
Oh,
what Endgame was?
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
honestly,
tough.
I read the entire plot of it on a subreddit, and I
Yeah,
still
you did. You and Toonie both did. I'm like, why do you guys like reading spoilers?
So
I don't understand.
For spoilers for me, right? Like, I'll still watch the movie, and I'll still, feel the same way regardless of spoilers. Like, just because like I've read a book before, it doesn't mean I don't still feel the same way. If I reread the book, right? Or like if I watch something, like if I rewatch it, I'm still gonna feel the same way.
See, that's the thing.
I've never reread of the first watch.
Like
they don't really bother
And a
me
book
either,
versus
so.
like a book can just like be a model of the movie, so it's not exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
But if you read like actual spoilers before you go see a movie, then you deserve.
It's shocked.
It's shocked.
Bro, I can't. So you remember when The Force Awakens came out? Like we were juniors and I was a junior in school, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm walking into like it's 7 p.m. Early showing. I'm walking in, and then my friend literally asked me on Twitter, and he just goes, "Han Solo dies," as like I'm walking in, and there's like no spoilers beforehand for that. Like no one.
You were mad the whole movie too, huh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's how I was in Endgame, bro. Like I
right.
knew it was coming, and like it just ruined it. So
I knew 30 minutes beforehand.
People would get spoilers. Suck.
Yeah, I don't think I would have reacted the same if I knew Iron Man was gonna die either. So I probably would have been pissed too. Python B-Rate asks your favorite COD Pro teams from these 4 teams: United, Optic, 100 Thieves, and FaZe. Optic.
Right now, or overall?
I guess it's like as a. I guess as an organization as a whole, like throughout history, for sure.
Throughout history, then Optic.
Yeah. Throughout history, it's hard to argue that. My favorite COD team to watch right now is 100 Thieves.
I disagree.
They're the best.
All right,
you like FaZe.
Since the beginning of the
year.
We know you like FaZe. What about you, Justin?
Well, mine would be Optic as well.
I just think Optic has like gotten so many people into COD esports that it's hard not
absolutely.
to.
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
I like 100 Thieves because of Nate Shot and Kenny, stuff like that. But Optic.
I heard Nate Shot's done some dirty business in the background.
Bro, like I swear, like he always has these random announcements that come out of nowhere, bro, and it's wild. And then like I even saw today on Twitter that like somebody in the World Series of Poker was like wearing 100 Thieves merch. That's wild, bro.
No, but like he's you guys know Nick Merckx.
Yeah.
Like he absolutely screwed him over, and they were like,
it was apparently just a verbal agreement, which like doesn't
verbal agreement,
and it's hard to say just because like there's no proof on either side.
Yeah, we don't know, but
a little sketchy, but
I don't know.
If it's true, it's obviously real shitty.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I just feel like he wouldn't lie. Like I don't know. I mean,
if
I'm
I
sure
understand it correctly, like Nate wouldn't just give a portion of his business away. I don't know, like what the other stipulations were. If he gave some of it, I don't know if it's probably a partnership of some sort, but it seemed random to me.
That's true.
I'm gonna save these anime questions for the people listening on Apple Podcasts, people watching on YouTube. I'm gonna save.
What are they about?
They're like, have you seen like this anime? Are you currently watching this anime? Stuff like that. And I think me and you are the only ones.
Whoever tweeted about JoJo, I strongly disagree.
It's an amazing anime. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna save them, and then, like when we have like a more centric, like when Toonie and Casey and them sort of get on, then I think we can answer them. But
yeah,
I guess like okay. So my question to the people watching, like if y'all want to like tweet at us and like or comment like on the YouTube comments, like. What is an anime that we could tell, like, so somebody like Adam who just, like, despises, like, weeb culture in general, or, like, Shaq, who's, like, this country bumpkin from Alabama. What's an anime, what's a good intro anime to show them, like, what do you think is the best, like...
My Hero, best.
I think
My Hero, or like, hear me out. First season of One Punch Man, plain and simple.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think it has a good mix of like comedy and
it
like
literally
action.
Makes fun of all their anime.
Yeah,
like,
I definitely. But I'm curious. Leave that in the YouTube comments.
I mean, of course, like I know Avatar's not anime, but like, listen, Avatar: The Last Airbender was every first anime.
I've seen every Avatar episode.
It's not anime, but it's anime.
Yeah.
Okay, like, that's what I was about to ask, if there was any sort of like anime around that. I would definitely watch it.
I mean, it's not
there,
so it's not anime.
So I guess like the last question, it's not from Twitter, but it's something that I thought about earlier. Like, if there's something that y'all could have like known about college before you got there that you know now, what would it be? Mine would be like that I actually have to like study and like try in college, because like
that's college. What did you?
No. Like,
I knew you're gonna have to come in.
No, see, like in high school, it was just all so easy for me that I thought I'd be able to like. I didn't think I'd be able to coast through college.
A lot of people are like that though.
Yeah,
actually, I was like that.
I didn't. No, go ahead.
I'll continue. All right. Well, for me, like, of course, like, you know, my knowledge is built throughout college, and I wouldn't be able to handle what I can handle now back in high school. But like, overall, the experience has been less stressful than high school, like academically.
Really?
Oh, but I went to a private school.
That's what I was about to say. My expectation is the exact opposite of yours, Serge. Like, I was thinking I was gonna have to do a lot more than I'm doing in school, in like college.
Yeah.
Like, I like really had a lot more free time than I'd ever expected to have.
But finals are.
Oh god.
Okay, so
Even
like regular school years fine, but like nothing can prepare you for finals ever. Like.
Well, I mean, even like then, like I feel like I should have to do a little bit more. Like the way it was laid out to us, like in high school, it was like you do nothing but like you're gonna be eating, sleeping, books, pretty much. Like
it's like gassed by like high school teachers and like maybe even parents.
Well, yeah, because they want you to be afraid and actually.
I feel like I still put in a lot of hours overall throughout the week.
Honestly, I probably put in like, especially freshman year, I was probably putting in less than like 6 hours a week studying. Less than 6 hours a week.
Wow.
Studying. Like,
Jesus.
I mean,
it depends a lot on like your professors and what classes you're taking too.
I mean, I was in
like GAs and shit.
I'd be studying.
Might be easy.
I was in all math and like science classes. Like,
yeah, but that's still first year math and science. That's pretty basic knowledge.
Well, depending on like what you're majoring in, because a lot of those classes are like weed out classes, and they make them like ridiculously hard just to weed out like medical majors and stuff like that.
Put it this way, Jack. Like, I didn't have anything past like advanced algebra 2 and like very basic pre-cal in high school, and I came in.
Yeah, so
I came in and went straight. No, I came in and went straight to like Cal 1 and Cal 2 freshman year.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, yeah,
that makes sense. But they like.
It's so hard to compare math like any class really like to different universities just because like programs
every
are
university
so
different. Yeah.
I wish somebody would have told me about the money in college. Like,
yeah,
yo, it's a different breed. Like,
you
remember those Mondays, bro?
Yeah.
The scholarship.
I never thought I'd be happier to hear about like $2 burger deals days.
Right, bro. Oh my god. Every time, like I sometimes I eat places that I don't even necessarily like just because they have deals.
Yeah, but it's got that good.
Right,
good
like
deal.
I don't like Sonic food, bro. I don't know if y'all have Sonics. Like,
yeah.
Sonic.
Sonic's ass.
Sonic has like their food isn't good to me, but sometimes they have like deals, bro. Like, and I can't help it, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. So
I spend way too much money on food.
Oh yeah, that's probably like my biggest expense, bro. Food in college.
100%.
Put it this way. Let me tell you. Do y'all have like those Walmart neighborhood markets?
Yeah.
Okay, I've been going and like something I found out because like I'm like the whole poor college student thing never really hit me until like this summer when I'm having to pay for a lot more during the summer than I'll do during the year. But it's weird, but it's RA stuff, so it's different. Because I got a paycheck during the year, and during the school year, like my meals are paid for because I had like a meal plan scholarship thing. But during the summer, we don't get that. So we get the same pay that we get during the year, but we're having to pay for a lot more stuff. So like I've been going and getting these like $2 half rotisserie chickens from like the neighborhood Walmart.
Man, it's a half rotisserie chicken.
Like, or go into like we have a grocery store like Vowell's Marketplace. Like there's like a local grocery store that has like they do like put stuff out like you can go get like 2 like 10-inch chili dogs for like $1.50.
One day I want you to edit one of these, and I genuinely I will pay you money to sit and count how many times this idiot says the word like. and put it at like the top right. I will literally pay you to do
top
it, bro.
count 362.
Yeah, I will literally pay you, bro.
Serge, don't say that because I might do it.
Y'all actually want to do that shit.
But I think another one for me is like so like I wish somebody would have told me like when you first start thinking about like what you want to major in, like the first thought usually is always like, all right, what can I turn into like a lucrative like career, and like make money off of. And so like I was always like sort of into pharmacy, but like when I chose it was more so, okay, I can make like really good money off of this, like support myself, support like my future family. But I wish somebody would have told me to like focus on something that I'm like actually like passionate about, like majoring in
Mine's the opposite.
Really?
I disagree with that because I was gonna major in astrophysics freshman year, and like I could handle all the classes, like that was no problem. But the problem is you have to go through 8 years of getting degrees in that field just to be able to get a starting position with that kind of degree. And if you're not from a wealthy family, that's just not logical. So like that's why I switched to. It is in check. Like astrophysics at a good school. If you're going to a good school and you're not working for NASA or SpaceX, you're not getting a good paycheck.
Yeah, but I think like if you're going into something that you're not like into, like that's gonna like reflect in your grades. Like with me, like I thought I would be into pharmacy, and I was at first, but like just some of the classes, like even like the structure of the classes more so than the content, like I just couldn't sit anymore and just be lectured to for like 50 minutes straight, like in my classes. Like it just wasn't for me. And like now that my classes like in sociology are more like discussion based, so we go and we do our own research and stuff like that. Like it's just I enjoy it more, and it's reflected like in my GPA like the past semester. Yeah, the classes to me are easier, but at the same time, like I'm more involved and more engaged in what I'm doing, right? And I just enjoy it more.
That's good. That's fair.
I love my major, and I think me picking my major made me realize what I really want. It just certified the fact of what I really wanted to do with my life. My major is like really hard because it's a creative based major. Like it's a person being creative in 2019. So I'm like sitting in the computer lab all day trying to think of ways to show somebody something they haven't seen in 2019. Like that's like my pro class. Like I didn't get nobody in that class got their first C until like the second to last project.
Yeah.
Like but I wouldn't switch it for the world. I love my major.
And I guess one more for me, like I wish somebody would have told me that like failure in college is like normal, because like when I failed my first test, bro, I was going through it. I was going through it, bro.
Yeah, no,
Because like I remember like my first day of my so they have an intro level biology class at Ole Miss called Physix 160, and it's like the medical majors is like that one of those weed out classes I was telling y'all about, and like literally a quarter of that class passes and goes to the next one. And so like when my professor told me that, I was like why would you say that? Like there's no way that's true. And then like I actually saw it happen. I actually failed the class, and I was like, bro, like I might as well drop out of college. Like I hate myself. But like I wish I would have known that like that's not like it's okay. Like college is something that like you're not gonna do everything like on your first try. Like you're gonna fail tests. You're gonna have like homework assignments that you're like, oh shit, I forgot that I had this due. Like it's normal. I wish somebody would have told me that, or I wish I knew that before
Failure is definitely like a part of the process, and I think it's like good that it teaches you that along the way. Like that's one of the like things you don't learn in the classroom.
Right.
Yeah, like especially. Go ahead, John. Nah, you haven't talked in a while. You haven't talked in a while, John.
Mine's totally off topic because I was gonna change.
I was like the thing like going back to earlier about like the difference between you could not study for high school tests and do fine.
Yeah.
Majority of the tests you take in college, you're not studying for. You're not getting above a C on.
Right, bro. Like I don't care what unless it's like
different for you because kind of like physics concepts. If you know physics concepts, you can get through the test.
And I guess it's like no matter
or like actual studying and additional information like finance or like just straight definitions, you're not gonna memorize that shit by going to class. You need to actually study for it.
Right, and that's the thing. Like a lot of people rag on like business majors and stuff, but like, bro, like even still, unless it's like a basic like gen ed class, like if you don't study for your test, you're not gonna do good. Like I don't care what the subject is. Like it doesn't happen like that.
Business is a very easy major, like over.
Yeah, overall.
I've been in CS and I've been in business.
Mm-hmm.
CS is definitely a lot harder and a lot more involved in terms of like hours you need, but business is still hard in the sense like Jack was saying, it's a lot of like memorization of concepts.
Yeah.
Well, see,
like
I ran
and,
into
like, application of formulas and stuff like that. So it's like it's different hard. It's like a different style of class.
I ran into my first class this past semester. It was my first D actually. But
we know you were being a pussy about it.
It was one that so comes to find out, like, so if y'all don't, this class was dynamics. It's basically all 4 of your calculuses combined with physics 1 and 2 to make it's like how stuff actually motions and moves and shit, like, and like other math stuff, forces that cause it and everything. It was one of those classes, like, I didn't know this to the end, but like the specific teacher I had for it, it's not as much you're competing against yourself for the grade. Like, hey, I have to consistently you're competing against the class because
that's how a lot of classes are.
Because like this one would be like, he wasn't going to fail. Like everybody in the class wasn't going to fail. You would know the stuff. And I spent more time. This is the one exception to what I said earlier. I spent more time studying for this class than I have every other class combined that I've had in college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like it's supposed to be the hardest class that we have to take in aerospace engineering here.
But you passed it, right? You passed with a B.
Yeah, I passed it. I passed it with a B. But my actual average in that class came out to be like a 70 or like a 69 or something. But it's on a curve, kind of. Like, it's on a bell. You're competing against the class. And the way he structures his questions, you'll know the concepts that you're supposed to know for the test, but then he's going to go ahead and throw stuff that's from the next one or something that you hadn't thought about on there as well to see how much further you think into it. And that's why he does that.
J-Pro, what about you? What's something you wish you would have known?
So, I guess it's like 2 things, but it's almost one thing. It's like, essentially, like, make time for yourself.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's a big one.
I feel like everybody in college is so stressed out about, like, in Shaq's situation, always got to get that A, and everybody's stressed out, even about like a social life, right? They're trying to like balance, work, school, sleep, social life, and honestly, just like making sure that you're finding time for yourself is like so important. Because I know my roommate this last year, like, was super stressed out all the time. Like, he wouldn't go to sleep till like 3 a.m. and would have to wake up at like 8 because he's just so stressed out all the time. Just making sure that you're in a good state mentally does so much better. There's so many good things for yourself.
Yeah,
I know for a fact that I'd wake up in the morning and I'd feel great because I mentally felt fine. Right. I wasn't overly stressed. Just making sure that I was in that good state of mind going into the rest of the day and the week. I just felt so much better.
Yeah.
And I guess like the second thing is like make time to like actually do stuff that isn't academic.
Yeah.
Like be social, go out, have fun with friends. Like, don't work yourself to death. Just college is supposed to be having fun, finding a bunch of friends. And like so many times do I hear stories of people that are like, I went to college and I worked my butt off for 4 years and I did literally nothing other than that.
Right.
I don't want my college story to end like that, and I don't think it has so far. But I guess
I feel like that was kind of gas to me too. Like staying up super late night, like at the library. Like, I've never had to deal with that. I think you don't have to if you like plan properly and actually do stuff correctly. But I mean, besides finals, that's like the one exception.
Yeah, I think I have for finals week, but everything else.
Nights, but like other than that week, like during the regular like semester, like, you shouldn't have to do that if you're like planning correctly.
Yeah, because I feel like college is set up in such a way that it should be manageable, right? There's people who have gotten the degree before. There's people who have passed these classes before. It's not impossible, and it's not like incredibly hard to do. You just have to make sure you manage it all for yourself.
Well, just to be devil's advocate for that, like, everybody learns differently though, and everybody studies differently. So
people thrive on I thrive on procrastination.
Right.
So people are different. I literally work better.
Yeah.
Well, last minute.
Hey, Jack, retweet, brother.
I think it's definitely you for to do it. I think it's different because everybody when you go to college and you're there, you spend your first night on campus or whatever, it's a different type of freedom than most people.
Absolutely.
You're like, I have class tomorrow, but you really don't have to go to class and you don't want to.
Yeah, that's true.
What?
Freshman year, what did you say?
I was getting hammered.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, your first night?
I don't
Oh yeah.
Y'all got?
Adjusted to that.
I had a class this year that he said if you miss 3 times, don't worry about showing up the rest of the time because you ain't making an A or a B. You're gonna be lucky to pass the class.
Well, like freshman classes here, like they're big lectures usually, so they.
Yeah. That's not how it is.
I mean, I still went to all my classes, but
yeah, I went to all mine.
When you first get in a dorm, like it's like a different feeling, 100%.
Yeah, I just felt guilty like not. I was that nerd in high school that like always wanted like, to get A's and stuff, and so like I felt guilty not going to class my freshman year.
Pretty sure that's like how all of us are.
I think that still never skip classes, to be honest.
Yeah, like the way like my professors like the first day of class is like every time you skip class, that's like spending $20.
Yeah,
right.
Basically, yeah.
It's like is it worth spending that $20 for like the extra 40 minutes of sleep? Maybe it really depends on you, but
at the same time,
that's a decent analogy.
I'm not gonna lie, like we're all in we're pretty much like nerds. Like we're about as good as it gets in college for going to classes and grades.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes now, bro, especially I think that's like. So I always tell people like the worst thing about moving off campus is the motivation, the extra motivation you have to get up and go to class, bro. Because like,
it takes a lot more.
Yeah, no, this is my first time living off campus.
Jack, I'm telling you, bro, there are gonna be some mornings where you're like, oh, I just can't do it, bro.
Well, it's gonna be cold. You don't have to deal with the cold. I'm gonna have to deal with the cold.
Yes,
y'all believe I skipped my first class that I've ever skipped in college, like this semester?
Did you have an aneurysm?
No, he got a B and then had an aneurysm.
No, I didn't get a B in this class. I made an A in this class. I went to the class that I made a B in, and I was late to my other thing because we was going. It was like Mississippi State had like a big baseball series against like LSU or something, and the game it got moved up, so we all skipped our 3:30 class and went to the game.
I feel like in that situation, that's like skipping, but I feel like a lot of professors know that you're gonna skip for that. Like you guys ever have there's activities that like coincide with like when classes are and teachers
that's
kind of understand you're gonna skip.
Well, I had go ahead.
I had to cut class to go see Morgan Freeman at our basketball game. He said I came to class. It was like a 40-person class. It was a design class. It was like I came here. It's only like 7 of y'all, and I see all the students at the Morgan Freeman game. Hope you got your picture,
bro. Y'all skip class for outlandish stuff. I literally skip class to do work for other classes, bro. Like, I'll be behind in some work or like I have an assignment or a paper due or something. And I don't want to stay up all night for it. So like,
I take that back. I did do that one time this year.
Yeah, sometimes
there's nothing like during the day that I need to skip class.
Jack went wild this year, bro. He skipped a class.
Listen, I've never skipped a class until this semester, and I skipped a couple. So
this is gonna sound like maybe kind of pretentious, but like I skipped a class because I already knew the content of it and just didn't bother showing.
Oh, that's perfectly normal.
If you get slideshows like from your classes,
hey, upload
it. You don't need to go to class.
Like
I do because I learn better that way, but a lot of people don't.
Me too. Like I had an econ class, right, where I was pretty good with economics regardless, right? So I just didn't bother showing up. I would just show up on the test dates for the most part. Like I showed up probably the first like 3 weeks of class, and then after that I'd show up maybe once a week.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
In all of our classes, I'd say like 15% of people do that. Like on test days, like there's some people I've never seen in my entire life show up.
Yeah. That's every class, bro. Swear to God.
So, the class that I made a B in. Go ahead, Justin.
Well, why are we still on this?
Have you seen that meme where it's like if they had parent-teacher conferences in college, they were like, "Yeah, I'm here to talk about my son." They're like, I've never seen this kid.
Bro, like you come into class on test day and there's always somebody in your assigned seat, bro, that you've never seen before. Like, where did you come from, bro?
Dude, I lose full when that happens. I'm like, where do I?
Bro, that happened today. We had an exam and I was late. I was like, who the hell are you? I sit there,
bro. That's actually wild, bro. I don't know how people just like randomly just like don't like come into class at all. But like, I guess
could
like
not learn that way. Like,
well,
like West told me he does that. Like, he does not show up to classes or he takes online classes, and like 3 days before an exam, he'll just like cover everything.
Really?
Like I'd fail every class.
When I took online, like I took a couple.
West makes like B's though, and he's like cool with that. So
no, I took like online history classes and online art classes. I did the same thing. Like I didn't do anything until like it was time for the like exam, and I would read I read 6 chapters in like 2 days. It was like 170 something pages of art fucking history.
I know.
And there is some classes you can do that with like GEs and stuff, but like major classes.
I know for me, like when I took organic 1, I failed that the first time because like I really just forced myself to sit through his lectures, even though I didn't really get anything out of them. Like I would sit there and listen, and I would make myself think, okay, I went to lecture, so like I learned the material. Now what are you gonna test? But then like the next time I took it, I just like I realized I wasn't getting anything out of the lecture, so I just stopped. I would go home and read and take that time I was supposed to be in class, like read the book on my own and learn the material, like actively like work through problems and stuff. And I literally made an A the next time I took it. So it's
yeah,
just
that's
like,
one of the things. Sorry, go for it.
no, I was just saying, like for me, like just I guess lectures just aren't me. So sometimes, like if I realize I'm not getting anything out of that lecture, I'll take the time out and like try to do it on my own.
Yeah,
I think the thing college is really good about is you are like able to learn how you learn best.
Yeah.
High school,
yeah,
it doesn't feel
it
like
definitely
high
teaches
school
you how you learn best.
Right,
Like you need
yeah.
to find out how you learn best.
I feel like the people who are most successful in college are the ones who figured that out relatively early.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been a visual learner, so going to classes has always helped me. Like, I've had to not study nearly as much as others just because I pay attention in class and I'm good to go.
That's how I am. Like, if I see an example and I can do an example, then we're all good.
Yeah.
My thing is, I learned from like a lot of the classes I learned from like listening to it. Like, I just go and listen. Like, I'll be doing something on my phone most of the time or something, but I learned from just listening. Like, I can hear I can like replay that in my head when it comes to the time, and it'll be like a soundbite.
Yeah, see, some people are like that, but like for me, like I said, I have to like actively like work through stuff and work through scenarios like on my own to really like grasp like certain concepts.
Lecture for me is just like a very basic like introduction, and then like I actually learn it when I like do it by myself.
So yeah.
I kid you not, I took not an English class. What class? It was some little low-level, like, elective class that you just had to, like, you could literally just listen to it. And I went in there and I played, like, Fortnite on my computer with an Xbox controller every day.
Jesus Christ. Anyway.
If I saw a kid playing Fortnite...
Is this the last question, or is there another question?
That's the last one.
Alright.
See, this is when Fortnite was like big, so I wasn't like the only one. And you walked in the class and you saw like the whole back 3 rows sitting there playing Fortnite.
If I was a professor,
and I saw that,
right, I would literally smack you upside the head, bro.
Yeah,
I would literally smack you upside the head, bro. I would lose my job.
I would literally let you keep doing that, and I would have already failed you, and I would.
Remember, they came in the last day. Please.
But the class was like Intro to World Geography, or like,
I don't care, bro. Like you don't play Fortnite. You do not play
Fortnite. He flat out told us the first day. He's like, if you want to show up to class, you can. I don't really care. You just show up.
And that's how most professors.
Yeah, that's most professors say that. That doesn't mean disrespect them and play Fortnite in the middle of them lecturing,
He
bro.
flat out say, he's like, if y'all want to watch Netflix or something, just go to the back row.
I don't know,
I'm saying if I was a lecturer over like obviously if he's lecturing over it's something like he's passionate about,
right?
So if I saw people like not caring,
he was a meteorology major, a grad student that was being forced to teach this intro.
I feel as though professors that tell you that you can just like screw around and not to pay attention, they're the ones that are really perceptive of what you're actually doing and like
they actually pay attention.
Exactly. So.
Might be a little biased.
They talk. Even then they talk to their colleagues. Like, hey, so and so in my class just doesn't pay attention at all, and that just like reflects badly on your reputation.
I don't think. I don't
think that. Maybe at a super small school, like
it does.
Since you're at a really small school.
Yeah, I know ours. I think for ours, they just probably take it for personal use when it comes to like grading and stuff. Like they'll be like. Oh, they might
like
be
a little bit of bias.
Oh,
right,
is he at like an 89.90? Like, did he show up to class every day? Then let's give him a name.
See, that's the thing. A lot of teachers here, like, they'll put that stuff like laid out the first day. Like, he told us if you miss more than 3 days, if you don't miss, okay, let me rephrase this. He told us if you do not miss more than 3 days, I will round your grade up if you have an 86 to an A.
Well, the classes,
even if you show up and like watch Netflix or something, like just show up.
Well, that class sounds like a BS class.
It was kind of a BS class.
So that's different.
I mean, most of my major classes, if I miss more than 3 days, I get deducted a grade, like an entire grade.
Oh yeah,
like a letter grade. Yeah,
that's what I was telling you.
It's not that harsh here, but
for that dynamics class I was in this semester, he told us if you miss 3 days, you might as well not show up. Like,
I mean. You know what I really notice is like the classes that like if you don't show up and pay attention, like you're gonna fail. Those usually don't have attendance policies. It's the ones that like nobody cares about. For me, that like they always have attendance policies.
Yeah.
which is it's annoying, but at the same time, like I understand it because it's like if I was a professional, I'd do the same thing. I'd be like, well, okay, you cannot show up to organic too, but you're gonna fail. So look at that. But we've been going for a minute, so I'm probably gonna cut it.
That's why a lot of ours don't have attendance policies. They just base their like rounding on it, and they'll lay it up in the beginning.
Shaq, are you good, bro?
I guess. I don't know.
Golly, bro. We appreciate everybody on iTunes listening. Everybody on YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Obviously, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave us a rating and a review. Share it with your friends. We greatly appreciated. Thanks for all the questions, all the people that asked questions on Twitter. And if you didn't get a chance to ask a question this time, or if we didn't answer it, keep sending questions through. We love answering your questions. I appreciate everybody being on the podcast. Jack and Justin, I know y'all are new, so if you want to tell people where they can follow you at, go ahead.
All right, I'll go first. You can follow me at vortex_NA. That's my Twitter. Also, if you are curious about my personal life, it's at JackGlynn15. That's also my other Twitter. My Instagram handle. I'm kidding. No, I really don't care. No, but yeah, that's about it. Appreciate taking time to listen to my opinion.
What about you, Justin?
First off, I'd like to apologize for the bootlegginess. Second, follow me on my socials. You can just follow me on my Twitter. It's where I'm most active at Justin L. Lockhart on Twitter. And just have a good time. If you want to spend some money, follow my OnlyFans at
my Venmo is.
All right, guys, we appreciate it. We appreciate y'all listening. Like I said, thanks for people on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts. Man, shut up, bro. Golly, bro. God.
Golly.
We'll see you guys next week. See you later.
Thank you.